Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin, Tuesday, 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar Levine Studios.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
Do we call it a Minshew Monday since he's going to be starting against the Ravens? We could. We could call it Manic Monday or Miserable Monday because that showing against your divisional rival. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and cut myself off right there because we got to stop with this narrative that the Tennessee Titans are the divisional rival, right? Because when you play your rival, 9 times out of 10, usually it's going to be a close, hard-fought, a great game, if you will. And I understand. Last year, the Jaguars beatings on Thursday Night Football. What a shocker. Thursday Night Football, Tennessee, Jacksonville. Leave it to the year of 2020 to establish that they're not going to have primetime Tennessee, Jacksonville. But my point being, you can't call this your rival if they constantly beat you up. Right? Like right now, the Tennessee Titans and the way they have looked against the Jacksonville Jaguars, we're essentially the underclassmen dealing with a high school bully right now, and they're taking our lunch money. Like, that's what some of these games have looked like, and make no mistake about it. Yesterday's performance, not good. So go ahead and put their narrative away that, well, this team is playing hard. They might have played hard. They might have put up a fight. I don't know. All I know is they got beat by 21 points, and let's be honest, it probably should have been a lot more. Shout out to Mike Vrabel in the Christmas spirit. Shout out to the Tennessee Titans for taking those starters out, right? And to me, this is a sign of a pretty decent team, if not a good team. When you have those bad games, when you have those lulls, for instance, Tennessee versus Cleveland. Cleveland embarrassed them in Nashville, all right? Not a good look for the Tennessee Titans. Now, I understand that they came back later on in that game, but they weren't going to win that game. They got embarrassed on their home field. And the sign of a good team is when it hits the fan and you get embarrassed, how do you respond to that? What's the next course of action? Well, we saw a Tennessee team bring their defense out. We saw a Tennessee team win in the trenches. And we saw Derrick Henry do what Derrick Henry does. Now, I'm going to say this. I was wrong about a couple of things. I called out that Derrick Henry was going to hurdle somebody. He pretty much did everything else besides hurdle somebody. So I was wrong about that part. But a great day for Derrick Henry, over 200 yards. The Jaguars had literally no answer for him. And here's the frustrating part about it. If you were watching that game yesterday, from the first quarter on, you knew the plan of the Jaguars defense. They were crowding the box. They had everybody up on the line. And I get it. Personnel makes a difference. But at the end of the day, they had everybody on the line. They knew what Tennessee was going to do, and they couldn't stop it. Like, as a football player, that's the most frustrating thing to be a part of. And that's kind of the trend that I'm seeing. Let's be honest. The past couple weeks, the Jaguars defense has played better. But, man, you want to talk about just losing in the trenches? That was a prime example yesterday. And, yeah, Ryan Tannehill had an okay game. A.J. Brown, welcome back, all that stuff. But it was the Derrick Henry show yesterday. And let's be honest, I'm sure when he gets in the top NFL, the top 100 for NFL Network, you're going to see a lot of highlights. They're going to talk about the 200-yard game. It just seems to be the constant right now when the Jaguars play the Tennessee Titans. Like, when's the last time that you were cheering for the Jaguars, if you're a Jaguars fan, where they beat the Titans, but they beat them like they curb stomped them? Like, they left no doubt. Wasn't a close game. It was a curb stomping. I honestly can't remember. I know we didn't succeed with that when we played, maybe back in 2017. I can't remember how those games went. All I'm saying is right now, as much as it pains me to say it, because I got nothing against the Tennessee Titans, right? I didn't grow up a Jaguars fan. I don't know all the history, but I know when I played for this team, what it meant to play that team, right, and the dislike for each other. But right now, Tennessee Titans, they got our number. And as much as it sucks to admit, and I understand it's been like that for a while, you just got to swallow that big dose of reality and move on. So obviously, we're going to break that game down today a little bit. Gardner Minshew name the starter for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And my co-host Brent Martineau will be here maybe momentarily. I'm not sure. And let's be honest, if I was Brent Martineau right now, I wouldn't come in today. I wouldn't come in today after that Kyler Murray-Daniel Jones showdown. I wouldn't come in today after Daniel Jones almost got benched. I mean, literally on the cusp of getting benched yesterday against the Arizona Cardinals. And we know what Kyler Murray did. Kyler Murray did Kyler Murray things. Took it to New York, a very hard Giants team, and had no problem. So I can't wait to break that down when, oh, here he is right now. Now he's walking in. So he did show up today. I like it. We'll talk about that game later. But the big story today, Gardner Minshew. Gardner Minshew is now your starting quarterback going forward. Against the Baltimore Ravens, does it really matter? Probably not. I think you have a motivated Ravens team right now that's vying for a playoff spot. So you do what you got to do there. But the writing's been on the wall since day one. Gardner Minshew has always been the better quarterback opposed to Mike Glennon. And I find it funny that Doug Marrone after that game said, well, hey, we're going to sit down. We're going to talk about this. We're going to evaluate it. We're going to be respectful to the players, and we'll make a decision on Monday. And here we are on Monday, and Gardner Minshew's the man. Where was that type of attitude 2 weeks ago? Where was that type of motivation when Glennon turns the ball over 3-4 times, and you said, oh, he's still going to be the guy going forward right after the game? Where was that energy then?
What's happening?
What up, man?
You said the biggest story is Minshew. Sorry, I'm a little bit late. Was doing a Mac Jones story for this weekend.
Yeah, well, you better now because Kyle Trask is not looking so good.
Mac Jones, we'll get into that, and had just a good couple-hour conversation, really, with his folks, and big weekend for them. And then I was on the phone with Urban Meyer, just talking herbs.
How's he doing?
Seeing how interested he is in coming to Jacksonville.
A little flex.
Is he coming?
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We're working through some things.
Cool.
I wasn't really on the phone with him. I was just kidding.
Oh, I mean, you had me fooled. He watches the show. I figured you would have got his number by now.
Once in a while. So, how about that? Did you see that?
Urban Meyer? Yeah.
Does that do anything for you?
Nothing. Like all these rumors right now, or all these reports do nothing for me.
That's what sports radio's for, man.
All right.
Embrace it.
Well, hey, in that case, is Doug Marrone coming back next year? Let's talk about that real quick. Because that was a narrative. Well, that was a narrative.
I know.
Well, that was
weird.
a rumor.
That was bizarre.
So what are we talking about? We're in sports radio. Like, listen, Urban Meyer, it's interesting. It's intriguing. Could be exciting. But I'm not going to buy into it until I hear more.
Yeah, well, you're gonna hear more from me about it.
Let's hear it then, man.
I've got an interesting scenario for you. Not right now. I'm going to get into, but around Urban Meyer that piques my interest, and got people talking about Urban Meyer. Like people are like, I think that does pique interest. Some people be like, get out of here. I don't want it.
Yeah.
But then others will be, wait a minute, I can marry that and Justin Fields and the guy who wins and.
Well, hang on. When you say marry with Justin Fields, why do you say it like that?
Well, because I think what people are trying, I think why this is in the news, why Albert Breer, like whether Urban Meyer or the Jags could have interest or any, how this got out there, I don't know.
Sure. But
a reason why I think it got out there is, well, let's be honest, Urban Meyer's available, and Justin Fields right now in Jacksonville is the presumed number 2 overall pick. Mm-hmm. And so then that's why I'd say you could marry the two together.
I got
the
you.
Ohio State connection and all that. So I think that's why I think the report exists, quite frankly. As of now, I just think people are. That's an easy puzzle piece to put together.
I heard that Bill Cowher's got a couple spots in Jacksonville.
Well, that's been going on for a while.
Yeah, but I heard that too.
And Boomer Esiason kind of mentioned that. Listen, those are we have hesitated to talk about potential coach replacements as much as we have GM because Doug Marrone, with all due respect to him, is still the head coach. We don't believe that's going to be the case. Heck, as the reports came out yesterday with Adam Schefter, and it was more just suggestion than report. It was more analysis than report. And I just
was it
what
hearsay?
I said.
I'm so confused by what
it wasn't necessarily. It was more. This is what happens. Okay, in my opinion. I think guys like Adam Schefter and Rappaport, they do a great job, by the way. This is not a knock on them. But I do think they have to fill time sometimes. Like, they're asked to talk about a lot of different things.
Yeah.
And the way this team has played for Doug Marrone and the fact that Shad Khan said he's safe until the end of the season allows you to say something like Adam Schefter said, is, hey, if they keep playing well, and they had 4 games to go at the time, and if you maybe win a couple of those games, he basically put it in, could he still be in play? It's not a slam dunk. Well, that's because it hasn't been announced.
Yeah.
I think that I said this yesterday on TV. It's fine that report comes out. We would be stunned, And as much as anybody else would be stunned about Doug Marrone being here on January 4th or 5th or whatever it is, Doug Marrone would be the most surprised person in the universe, okay? Because there's one thing about Doug Marrone. He understands the business very well. He is smart enough to know what's going on here. He knows if you lose 12 in a row, and if your record looks like it has the last 3 years, that you're not keeping your job. I mean, it's just, and by the way, if for some crazy reason he does, well, look out in Jacksonville. I mean, look out from the fans, from the media, from everything else. And all of that energy will then go to Shad Khan because it just can't happen. I mean, you just have to hit a refresh button here in Jacksonville, and that has to be the case. And we haven't talked about Trent Baalke. Could he become the interim GM? You know what? Could he be? Should he be a candidate? Should he get a list? Maybe he should get a listen or a look, but I don't want that either. You know, and I don't know how everybody else feels, but I think everybody feels the same way we all feel, and that is, let's hit the refresh button. You got a chance to start this thing over, and let's start over. So we'll talk all about it, but I think that's why you see some of these reports, and I think that's why you see the connection. Albert Breer is no different. And again, I'm not knocking Albert here. I think you could play the scenario. It's like, maybe somebody did say, hey, they'd be interested in Urban Meyer. That's all it takes to get into the notes column on Albert Breer's column.
Yeah.
You know? And so you can connect the dots. I mean, did Urban Meyer ever have interest in Texas? I don't know, but they connected dots. They never even fired Herman. You know? So that's the way that this works this time of year. And it makes it fun for us, but I think it's fun food for thought. And I'm going to put it in a context that I want to ask you about, because I'm going to relate it to I'm going to relate it to something else, and I don't want to give it away right now, but I'm interested to see people's reaction on it. You were talking Gardner Minshew, so started to divert from that.
You good?
This is the major headline, but is it kind of like, who cares anymore? Like, are you interested in seeing Gardner Minshew for the next 3 weeks? Listen, I've been a big advocate for Minshew to say, why is he not playing, all these things. I think this is the right move by Doug Marrone. I think this took a little longer than it should have by Doug Marrone. I didn't like what they were selling us on why Glennon was the quarterback. I did not like how Minshew handled things last week in the media. I didn't like how Marrone handled things in the media. I didn't like how Jay Gruden handled things in the media, quite frankly. So I think there was blame to go around. So this has been clunky, been messy, been everything. I think as we look back on it, Doug Marrone hasn't handled this quarterback carousel very well. I don't know who can, because I don't know if the options are good enough to handle it well. But this was a no-brainer. I guess my curiosity now is, does it matter? The Jags are playing Baltimore. They're playing Chicago. They're playing Indianapolis. They have 3 games to go. What's there to watch on Gardner Minshew the next 3 weeks?
Yeah, I mean, listen, the question is, does it matter this up-and-coming week? I would say probably not, and that's what I said, because they're playing the Ravens. I understand that the Ravens are going to be hungry more than likely and have a lot to play for. They're well coached. But why I'm at least excited, and I'm sure I'm in the minority here, I might be the crazy as that sounds, as far-fetched and bringing lunacy to the table. I want to see the Jacksonville Jaguars win, because I know what it's like to be in that locker room, and I at least want to end the season on something to take away from it. I'm tired of coming in every single week talking about losses, talking about embarrassing losses. I'm tired every single week of doing my 3 observations and nothing's really good. Set aside from James Robinson, congratulations. So I want to see this team win, and I think Gardner Minshew gives them the best chance to win. So can they beat the Ravens? Probably not. But can they beat the Bears? Maybe. Can they beat the Colts? We'll see. But at least I feel better about their odds of winning with Gardner Minshew than I did with Mike Glennon.
Yeah, I think all those things are good. Here's the thing on the losses and wins, right? They've got to stay in the number 2 spot. That's very important now. I mean, you have to stay in don't mess this up, Jacksonville. You have to stay in the number 2 spot. Well, that's going to be really come down to 2 games, because they're in the Baltimore Ravens. They are not good enough to beat the Baltimore Ravens. This is one of those games that we said, although they fought like heck against Green Bay with a rookie quarterback, this was one of those games where I said, you can't even fathom them winning this game. And so I can't imagine, with a hungry Ravens team, a depleted Jags team, maybe now finally a team that's been beat up a little bit too much, even mentally. That's what I think we saw a little bit of yesterday, because finally, like, the floodgates opened, the dam broke, on those tough battles, entertaining games. It was just like, oh boy, nothing. That was ugly. That didn't look good. That's not even a game we can discuss here on a Monday, quite frankly. So I think it comes down to 2 games, but Cincinnati's no help right now. Like the Jags, if Cincinnati would just win 1 game, The Jags actually could win 2 games down the stretch here in the final 3, and you'd be all right for the number 2 spot. But if they beat Chicago in week 16, and they go to Indianapolis, and if they win that game, they got a chance to move down below Cincinnati, I'm going to be nervous. I'm seriously, with everything that I've got in me and everything Jacksonville has in it, you should be rooting against the Jags, against Indianapolis. But they've had Indy's number so much that I will be nervous if they beat Chicago and have a chance to drop down in the draft order.
No, I mean, you should be nervous. Obviously, Cincinnati, if they go to number 2, they're not going to take a quarterback with Joe Burrow, but then one could assume that a team might trade up if they're in the need for a Justin Fields. So, you don't want to have Cincinnati at number 2 and move ahead of the Jaguars. Cincinnati, who do they have left here? They have...
Not good. Baltimore and Pittsburgh.
Baltimore. They got Houston, though, too. So they got Pittsburgh, Houston, and Baltimore.
But they are playing not good football.
Well, no. I mean, listen, you lose your star quarterback in Joe Burrow. Mixon, I think, is out for the year. Giovanni Bernard has been struggling. They have no running game, essentially. Obviously, their passing game takes a hit now that Burrow's out. So, they're a struggling team, to say the least. And it's going to be hard to find a win. Maybe, like I said, the Houston Texans, possibly. But it's at Houston. So, I'm sure the Bengals are going to run the table of losing. So, we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for the Bengals. They just don't look. Again, I still think Zach Taylor's on the outside chance of losing his job. I just don't know if he's won enough games. What's it, 3 wins now in 2 years?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah? I mean, I don't know. That's dangerous. I know they've been dealt a bad hand at times, too, and now they lose Burrow for a bit. But even when they had Burrow and he was playing pretty good football, they weren't winning games.
Yeah.
Kind of a lot like Anthony Lynn and Herbert and Chargers. They played pretty good football at times. They just weren't winning games, and I think Anthony Lynn's going to lose his job eventually because you're just not winning games. I mean, they're playing pretty good. They look like they're okay. They don't look terrible and then, bam, they just don't win. And so you look at the record, and it's awful. So I think Zach Taylor could be there's a chance, in my opinion, that he loses his job, too. Hey, I just asked this question, and we'll talk a little bit more about Minshew and what it means and all this stuff, and at least finally I don't have to talk about the Marrone and why hasn't he played him stuff anymore. That's good. But
were you surprised that he waited till today?
No, because this is okay. I have no problem. We knew he was making the change because he said, I want to talk to the players first. That's fine. I'll tell you, I was more surprised that he named Glennon 5 minutes after that performance against Minnesota last week. That's what I was surprised about. That was stunning to me, that he named Glennon that quick. But when you don't have to go tell another quarterback, hey, you're going to lose your job, then I guess that's why he named them that quick. He had it in his mind that it doesn't matter. Glennon was going to get another game. And this time I figured Minshew was going to be the guy. And now, but he wanted to do the right thing and not tell everybody through the media. That's fair. I respect that.
But were you also surprised, too, the fact that Mike Glennon did get the start in the second half and then throws an interception, then it's on the tape,
Yeah, I mean, he waited as long as you could wait.
And then some.
Yeah. He did. He waited as long as you could wait. That offense was doing nothing. I mean, you got to keep in mind the Titans' defense is not good. It's not. I mean, look at the numbers people have put up against the Titans' defense. So here's my question. Does Minshew excite you anymore? Does the fact that he's going to play?
Yeah.
He came into a nice ovation yesterday.
Yep.
This is a guy that captured the city a year ago.
Yeah.
That captured the organization enough to say, hey, we believe in you in 2020. You're going to be the guy with very little competition. And who actually got off to a very nice start. 19 for 20, beats the Colts. Whoa. Plays pretty good. Plays pretty well, not good enough. A couple turnovers against the Titans. They lose that one in game 2, but it was a big difference. They were playing much better in week 2 than they played against the Titans yesterday. And now has the luster gone so much so that now we don't even care if Gardner Minshew's starting Sunday against the Ravens and the rest of these games, most likely.
No, I mean, this essentially goes back to my whole TED talk about hope. The Jaguars fans have lost hope in Gardner Minshew. So to say, is there excitement? Is there intrigue? Will people be rocking bandanas and jean shorts? Unfortunately, I think that whole mania thing has wore out its welcome in Jacksonville. Now, once again, I am very adamant about saying I think he gives you the best chance to win. And taking something from your playbook, from your narrative, you're all about entertaining games. Gardner Minshew's entertaining.
He is.
Right? The way he plays the game of football is entertaining. So regardless of what happens against the Baltimore Ravens, and let's be honest, it could get ugly as well, at least the fact that you don't have a statue standing back there, and now you have a guy who can move around, beat you with his feet, make some pretty crazy throws, and at least be entertaining. Because that's what we need right now. I think more than anything is just, let's have some entertainment during these Jaguars
I have
games.
a hard time watching a game with the Jags where DJ Chark catches like 2 passes. And they hardly throw to him. And
but yeah, and we can go and break that down after the break. There's a reason why they didn't throw a DJ Chark.
Yeah, well, I'm interested in that. And by the way, I mean, some of it's still on DJ, too. I have not taken complete blame away from DJ this year. I think some of his body language has been poor. He was definitely frustrated. Again, I watched him closely, came off the sideline, kind of walked right by Jay Gruden with his arms up like, are you guys going to get me the ball or what?
Yeah,
that's what I'm surmising. That's what he was thinking. But we'll talk a little more about Gardner Minshew or the Jags. I mean, you know what it is by now. But let's start with a bang when we come back. Seriously, let's just entertain. Does Urban Meyer do anything for you in Jacksonville? Next on ESPN 690.
Action Sports Jax with Brent Martineau on ESPN 690 is brought to you by Best Bet Jacksonville and Orange Park.
Now, the first alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Mild today under variable cloudiness and a few scattered showers. Highs between 75 and 80, dropping into the upper 40s tonight. Join me beginning at 5 p.m. for CBS 47 at Fox 30 Action News Jax. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. Just in time for the holidays. Save up to 40% on everything store-wide at Beard's Diamonds.
Happy holidays from the team at CGC Water. This holiday season, our gift to you is clean drinking water. A Kinetico system from CGC Water removes up to 99% of contaminants. That's clean. Right now, CGC Water is offering a free A200 reverse osmosis drinking water system with the purchase of a Kinetico Premier Softener like the one we have at our home. If you're still not filtering your water, you are the filter. Schedule your free water test today and get peace of mind knowing your family's water is safe water. CGC is still taking extra precautions with in-home visits and continuing to follow CDC guidelines. Remember now, this is a limited time offer. A free A200 reverse osmosis drinking water system with the purchase of a Kinetico Premier Softener. Special holiday financing available for a limited time with approved credit. Call 904-552-1242 for details or visit cgcwater.com. Serving Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia, CGC Water Treatment, your local independent Kinetico dealer. Have a happy and safe holiday season.
Boss, have you heard the latest about the ding-dong doorbell cameras?
What, more employees spying on customers?
Nope.
Hackers again?
No, boss, this time they had to recall over 350,000 video doorbells.
Recall? What happened?
A bunch of them caught fire.
Whoa, unbelievable. It's one thing after another with them.
Yeah. Notice you never heard that with Safe Touch's video cameras?
Well, now you're just comparing a Bentley with a bumper car.
Exactly. I just don't understand why any homeowner wouldn't go with Safe Touch.
Yeah, their video monitoring's virtually hack-proof. Oh, and here's a bonus. Safe Touch cameras don't burst into flames.
No kidding.
It's just a good thing not everyone knows about Safe Touch, because we gotta stick to the Crooks R Us golden rule. Stay away from Safe Touch houses.
Yeah, don't gotta tell me twice.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
We should always be looking at our finances, but 2020 made my family take an even closer look, a bit more of a deeper dive, and it might have done the same for you, even into the world of retirement. Although that's a bit down the road for me, it might be closer for you, and your plan should already be under a microscope, and you have to lean on the experts to help guide the right plan. My friend Mike Lester with Talon Wealth Management is the perfect partner. He will provide a complimentary analysis and a plan for you. Call him at 904-515-5000 or visit guardingyournestegg.com. That's 904-515-5000 or guardingyournestegg.com. Mike will give you the guidance you need as retirement gets closer. He can help you convert company plans to private plans, a move that might give you higher returns and more options. You've earned the money. Now make sure you are ready for whenever retirement will be. Call Mike Lester at Talon Wealth Management, 904-515-5000. That's 904-515-5000. Or visit guardingyournestegg.com.
Why call a professional if you're only going to get a half solution? That's my philosophy. You called me to truly fix your problems like, boom, fixed and fixed right. So when Griffin Service offered full-service drain clearing, I insisted we take that approach. And for drains, it's not really about busting the clog. Sure, we'll do that better than anyone. But honestly, most Jake with a snake chuck in a truck plumbers can bust a clog. Professional quality drain clearing is really about taking an out-of-control situation and putting you, the client, back in control. I'm talking about transparency, with upfront pricing and camera work included in the price, so you know that the problem was fixed and fixed right. Because on the off chance you've got a bigger problem than clog busting can solve, you'll want to know you're dealing with a plumber you can trust, who has all the equipment to fix problems properly and guarantee the work. So call the plumbers to do it right at
GriffinService.com.
License number 1250697.
Worthless warranties, slimy salespeople, shady subcontractors. It's no wonder people don't trust most roofing companies. At All Pro Roofing and Consulting LLC, we didn't trust them either. That's why we started our own roofing company. With more than 25 years of experience, we offer industry-leading warranties, simple, fair financing, and no subcontractors. Residential, commercial, even multifamily properties. At All Pro Roofing and Consulting, we've got you covered. Learn more at allproroofingllc.com.
Hey everybody, this is Brent Martineau. If you're usually listening to ESPN 690 in your car, we appreciate it. But your boss says you're working from home this week, so take us with you. Your smart speaker brings ESPN 690 into your home office. Tell your Amazon Echo or Google Home to play ESPN 690.
Brent Martineau.
Some NBA play-by-play here this week as well, right here on ESPN 690.
Austin Lane.
Hey, you all right?
Yeah, I know. You looked over like, are you going to make it?
Yeah, man. I'm making sure we're all good here.
Hey, listen, I get choked up about the new lineup.
Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
He's been outstanding. He really has. And he's a little bit banged up this week, but he's, no indication that was going to slow him down. I think early on, we didn't have a lot going for us. You know what I'm saying? In the run game, we were trying to. We wanted more from the run game to help us with the play action and then win against man coverage. That was our thought process going into the game. But it's something that, in a season like we're having where everybody's struggling, to have something like that happen is good. Normally, I don't ever really talk about individual accomplishments, but I did, you know what I'm saying? Because we don't really have a lot going for us, obviously, right now, except, we have, 3 more opportunities. But it's something that, could be celebrated by all of us.
That is Doug Marrone. A lot of interesting things in there to me, okay? I did this in the postgame show yesterday. He mentioned that he acknowledged James Robinson. Yeah. And the rest of the team gave him an ovation after the game. Even if they're a loss. We've seen those right after the game. The coaches give game ball out or something like that. Well, you don't do that after losses. You do it after wins. But he was so aware that, hey, I understand people might mock me for that. There might not be everybody that's happy for that. But he just explained. He said, listen, this has been a tough year. This kid's been everything we've asked of him. And I just thought he earned the right. It was the right thing to do to give him acknowledgement. I have zero issue with that from Doug Marrone. I mean, maybe it's because I love James Robinson so much right now. But I have no issue. But I found it interesting in the context of that he almost made it seem like players would have issue with that, and he expects it.
Yeah.
Would they? I mean, you've been in those locker rooms. Would players have issue in a loss, in a 12th straight loss, making an acknowledgement for an individual accolade for a guy like James Robinson?
No, not at all.
You don't think so?
No, let's be honest. You've won one game the entire season. You really have nothing to cling on to. Why not support your brother, support your teammate, and go, hey, at least, that this guy's working hard, this guy's doing well. Like, I would celebrate it, man. Like, I would break it up, like when you're doing your, like your post-game, team talk, whatever, and you break it down. I would let James Robinson break it down and say, hey, man, congratulations. Like, he's earned that. He's a rookie. He's a first-year guy. He's put on a pretty damn good performance this season. So celebrate that, absolutely.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. It's funny. I just got back from Mac Jones' parents doing a story with them, and they've been very quiet, and they don't want a lot of the attention, and it's a team thing, and I understand it's a football thing, but like I say to them, and I say to kind of in this thing, I still think you have to take the time to appreciate stuff along the way, and and I'm sure they do. This isn't really about Mac Jones, but it just kind of relates it that way. Like you have to, sure, they're 1-12. The Jags stink. But you got to appreciate the heck out of this guy because you know what? Going forward, whoever's in that locker room, you want 53 James Robinsons.
Yeah.
You want people performing to the best of their ability staying humble, which he has all the way.
Keep in mind, we almost had 53 James Robinsons when Gene Smith was the GM. About a small school, guys. You could have 53 GMs.
I don't mean by that.
but you didn't give Gene Smith a chance. So now we're here.
All right. I mean,
he had the blueprint.
I mean, production-wise.
He had the blueprint all set up.
So, interesting. I'll say one other thing, because we're not going to sit here and break down. Listen, it's fruitless to do. But I still couldn't believe they didn't give it to James Robinson more in the first half. And Doug Marrone said, hey, we thought we could take advantage of some one-on-ones. People have beaten them down the field. Listen, I get game plans, but you can't play keep away with your best player on offense. Yeah. You just, especially when you're deficient at the quarterback spot, and Mike Glennon. And they played keep away from James Robinson. Gave him 7 carries and 1 catch in the first half, 8 touches. That's it. They had been averaging over the last 5 games about 24 touches for him, whether it's running or passing. And listen, his first 4 carries got 3 yards. I get it, but you can't give up on it. It's just, to me, it's inexcusable that Mike Glennon threw it 22 times, James Robinson touched it 8 times. That doesn't make sense to me.
Let me ask you this. So the Tennessee Titans, let's say they ran Derrick Henry the first 5 times. And let's say that maybe they got 10 yards maximum out of that. Would they have stopped giving the ball to Derrick Henry?
By the way, they ran up against an 8-man box the whole game.
No, they would not have. Exactly.
So
before
they outsmarted themselves.
Before we went to break, though, you asked me, where was DJ Chark? Why didn't DJ Chark get the ball more? My point that I'm about to make, it falls in line with why James Robinson didn't get a lot of carries in the first half. Where was DJ Chark? It's all under the same umbrella. The reason why Chark didn't get the ball, why James Robinson didn't get the ball, is because I think in terms of game planning here, this team lived and died by the philosophy of you're only good as your last game. Now, what do I mean by that? If you go back and watch the Tennessee Titans-Cleveland Browns game, Cleveland goes into Tennessee, embarrasses them. A big reason why the Titans got embarrassed during that game was a guy by the name of Jarvis Landry. One of I'd probably put him at the top 5 slot guy in the NFL in terms of a slot receiver. All they did that entire game, especially in the first half, was throw the ball to Jarvis Landry. He had 8 receptions in the first half. Couldn't stop him, right? And that's when that offensive explosion happened. If you go back and rewatch that film, those first couple drives, sure, every once in a while, maybe James Robinson got a little gift. Here you go, run the ball like you do. But for the most part, it was a lot of motion, and it was a lot of getting your slot guys involved. Keelan Cole, Laviska Shenault. They weren't even concerned about the outside receivers. I think you have a situation here where Jay Gruden said, well, look at what Cleveland did against this team. Look at what Cleveland's doing. We can do the exact same thing. And let's beat them in the slot because they can't cover it. Now, don't get me wrong. In the first quarter, like Laviska Shenault, he had a nice catch first down. Yeah. Keelan Cole had that as well.
Then they almost got picked by going over the middle again because they read it.
But who are we fooling, though? And with all due respect to Viska, he might be Jarvis Landry one day. He's not Jarvis Landry right now. Yeah. With all due respect to Keelan Cole, we'll see what happens with your career, but you're not Jarvis Landry right now. And with all due respect to Mike Glennon, you ain't Baker Mayfield. So let's stop game planning around what the Cleveland Browns did in their passing game and realize that for the Jacksonville Jaguars, we can't do that exact same thing because we don't have the personnel to do it.
That's an interesting point, a very good point, because that's what happened, too. They throw it 22 times. They don't give it to James Robinson. Yep. They couldn't execute as well, and they never really got it to 17. DJ Chark, not enough. All right, I asked the question, and so let's get into it. Urban Meyer, just at face value, I say Urban Meyer to Jacksonville. Again, this is an Albert Breer thing. It was a report today, Sports Illustrated. There could be some courtship potentially from the Jags if the Jags job opens up, really when the Jags job opens up. But when I say that, what does it do for you? Get excited? You're like, uh-oh? You're like, please no? Or hell yeah?
I'm kind of like...
Do I need some more things to help put in your mind?
No. You know, did you ever watch Ren and Stimpy growing up? When it's like, interesting.
Yes.
That's kind of what I'm doing. I'm going interesting. It's very interesting because, let's be honest, Urban Meyer, no matter where he's been, he's had success, right? Like he's turned programs around now.
3 national titles, 3 Big Ten championships, 2 SEC, 2 Mountain West, 5 Big Ten East divisions, 2 Big Ten leader divisions. It's a terrible name. 3 SEC Eastern divisions. Eddie Robinson, Coach of the Year 04. George Munger Award, Home Depot Coach of the Year 2004, Pro Football Weekly National Coach of the Year, Woody Hayes Trophy 04-12. Yeah, I think he's had some success.
Now, would you say has controversy?
Sports Illustrated Coach of the Decade 2009, Sporting News Coach of the Decade 2009.
Has there been any controversy around Urban Meyer?
Yeah, there's been it's a weird thing to characterize, right? I mean, it's like there's been what I would classify as baggage, more so than controversy.
Okay.
You know,
I mean, it's kind of the same.
Yeah, I do, but I feel like controversy is more like cheating scandals and things like that. That hasn't been the case around Urban Meyer.
No,
it's been about his
he
health.
wasn't cheated. Yeah.
It's been, did he want out of Florida? It's been, what's going on with his health at Ohio State? Why did he get out then? Just kind of puzzling because we don't see it happen very often, especially with a guy who's so good and wins so much and is at the top of his game. So it's peculiar around Urban Meyer. And I will say this. This is something that has come out. And I've never really heard Urban talk as much about it, but he won 2 national titles at Florida. But there was a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff going on at Florida that they got away with that had to be cleaned up when he left there.
Yeah.
But that's a college game now. I mean, I'm not sure that will translate from an NFL standpoint. So that's what you're talking about.
You know, that's exactly what I'm talking about. And, yes, to make your point, like if he was to go to the NFL, I mean, you aren't shaping young men anymore. You're dealing with a bunch of grown-ass individuals with egos and all their own thing. So the positives I just gave him, he's a winner. Wherever he goes, he turns things around. There's a little baggage, maybe a little drama you can call it. Yes. But the biggest question remains, can his skill set translate to the NFL game? And unfortunately, I don't have that answer for you. And obviously, that's the million-dollar question is, can he go from – because I think Urban Meyer is a great teacher, right? I think he's a great molder of young men. Now, you could say, obviously, at Florida, he had some troublemakers and things like that.
It's a fantastic coach.
But just look at how his players play for him, right? I'm reminded a couple times, like when they face adversity, they always seem to come through it regardless of where he was at. And that says a lot about how much the players respect him. That's what you want in a locker room. But once again, it is different because you're not shaping young minds anymore. You're dealing with a bunch of grown men. And in that case, sometimes when you bring that military college attitude to the NFL, it doesn't gel well, especially with this modern era NFL athlete. So that's where I raise a red flag and say, does he have the skill set? Does he have the mindset? Does he have the coaching philosophy to be successful at the NFL?
Yeah, see, I see him. It's a weird thing, right? I'm not sure he built the best of cultures at Florida especially, but he built a winning culture. And that winning culture even elevated more at Ohio State. They always have a winning culture, but it elevated even more when Urban got there. Took it to the next level. And by the way, it's still happening. Like, he left that in great shape. Not necessarily the case with Florida in terms of leaving it in great shape.
No.
Because it was so abrupt. But it was more kind of a passing of the torch, it felt like, at Ohio State.
Yeah.
So the guy can flat out win. The guy can flat out coach. The guy can flat out recruit, and that's not necessarily, the most important thing in the NFL, of course. Here's when I think college coach going to the NFL, I feel like you think of some of the failures, right?
Yep.
You think of Steve Spurrier, right? Didn't work out. You think of
Nick Saban didn't work out.
Nick Saban, has all the success now at Alabama and had some at LSU, but didn't work out at Miami. You think of maybe even Pete Carroll the first time around. But this actually reminds me, at 56 years old for Urban Meyer, of more Pete Carroll this time around. Like, I wonder if he could be more Pete Carroll this time around. And Pete Carroll turned Seattle around, man.
He did.
He turned Seattle around. He was one of the best. Like, he was legendary in the college game, was going to be, if he had stayed there and kept winning. And I know there was baggage there, too.
There was some baggage there as well. And maybe one could say he got out at the right time.
He did.
At USC.
But do you see baggage in Seattle? So, you know what I mean?
No,
so
not
you
at
don't
all.
see some of those same traits follow. The college game's a different game. You can get yourself in trouble in college.
Yeah.
The way that thing's built. But I'm just telling you that my initial reaction is like, wait a minute now. I could see more Pete. I'm going to compare more Pete Carroll potential to a guy like Urban Meyer than I am the Spurriers and other potential. And now we're seeing college guys anyway. Matt Rule in the game. Kingsbury in the game. We could get courtships for a guy like Dabo Swinney, and others.
So,
Dan Mullen might soon go to the NFL at some point. People are going to at least suggest it.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you, man. And do I love the fact that Justin Fields right now is projected to be here? Yeah, I think I do kind of like that. Here's my one problem I have with Urban Meyer in Jacksonville. He has proven to me that he doesn't have staying power. So how long would he come here for?
I mean, you're asking would he be in it for the long haul?
Yeah.
Or would he just get tired and say,
and I don't feel this way, but Josh says, hell no, dude's a quitter. He'll bail before this could be built. Well, listen, to be honest with you, I don't know. I think that's a little bit harsh to say he's a quitter because we really don't know enough about the behind-the-scenes stuff. It's peculiar, but I don't know. I don't know if he's a quitter. I think that might be a little bit unfair, a little bit too harsh. The bottom line is, before it's built, if you give me Urban Meyer for 4 years, it's not going to take longer than that to build it.
No,
I mean, you can win with Urban. You can win next year in Jacksonville a little bit. You can probably win a lot of it if you make the right moves and get the right guys in here in 2 years and definitely in 3 years. So I don't need a guy that's going to be here for 12.
Yeah.
But I would always wonder with Urban Meyer is, okay, how long is he going to be here?
No, listen, the guy's definitely, he has the resume. He has the national championships. He's a winner. And I'm not taking that away from him. But to me, though, with Pete Carroll, he had that great personality at USC. Like, you could tell, he got the most out of his players and like to have fun. And Pete Carroll's personality translates fantastic to the Seattle Seahawks. I've talked to Pete Carroll a couple times, and, the guy likes to have fun. I mean, he's a player's coach. Now, that's not to say he won't get after you, but, it's definitely a more loose environment where the players are in that locker room. With Urban Meyer, we've seen him on the sidelines, right? And he had to walk away for a while. Why? Because, he had some health issues. One could say from maybe he was stressing himself too much or whatever that.
It's all in.
Exactly. So with Urban Meyer, once again, I say pump the brakes just a little bit because you cannot bring that intensity that I see at Ohio State, that intensity that I saw at Florida. You can't bring that to NFL locker rooms and expect it to go over like it did with those kids in college.
But
it's not going to work.
I say it again. Do you think Pete Carroll has an intensity about him? Why did it work there? Why did it work there?
Because he also has fun, though, Brent. You've seen that guy have so much fun.
I feel like Urban's players love Urban.
And they do. But we're talking about college guys. Once again, give me the more of the free spirit, the fun-loving coach who gets after you, a la Andy Reid, a la Pete Carroll. Give me that guy over the nonstop intensity type of guy who's going to chew you out every single time you come to the sidelines. Because that's what I saw with Urban Meyer.
Yeah. He's into, I don't know, maybe 56 years old, maybe helps that a little bit too.
Yeah,
I don't
how many
know.
times have you seen Pete Carroll lay into somebody when they walk off the sidelines? No, he's chewing gum nonstop. Even through his mask.
I hesitate to say never, though.
No, I mean, it's happened with every coach. My point, though, is if someone makes a mistake on that football field and they come to Pete Carroll, more than likely Pete Carroll is going to put an arm around him and say, hey, we got to be better. If it was Urban Meyer in that situation, I think he would probably chew him out.
Here's what I like about Urban Meyer. I'm going to give you 2 reasons, okay? Just 2. Mm-hmm. You know me. I've harped on the identity. Who the heck's making decisions around here? If you brought Urban Meyer here, I have no doubt who's running football. Urban Meyer.
Yeah.
No doubt. You bring some guy as an assistant coach and in with the GM, I'm still kind of okay. Where is the pecking order? Who's making the decisions? No doubt with Urban Meyer. Crystal clear. Whether it works or it doesn't, it's Urban Meyer. So I like that because I know it. I'll tell you what else. If Urban Meyer was here the last couple years, you know who else would still be here?
Tom Coughlin?
Jalen Ramsey.
Oh.
Because he'll massage those guys.
Yeah.
He'll make those guys work. He did it at Florida. I think he did it at Ohio State. He knows how to handle those guys. Well, around here in Jacksonville, we didn't know how to handle those guys.
Brent, he knows how to handle student athletes, though. And it's different. Once you start collecting those paychecks,
I get it.
Once you start knowing where you stand, it's a whole different ballgame. And I think if Urban Meyer was going to realistically coach at the next level, he's got to have some adaptability of himself.
I'm not done with Urban Meyer.
All right.
You ready for this?
Hit me with
I want you to think about it in the break. Trevor Lawrence, Dabo Swinney, Urban Meyer, Justin Fields. You get to pick one package, A or B.
Okay.
Which one you like?
Oof.
Next on ESPN
Making it hard on me, man.
The Max Kellerman Show.
Patriots had nothing on offense, nothing on defense, just because they have Bill Belichick even without Cam Newton. They're 2 plays away. They're 4-5 right now. They're 2 plays away from being 6-3 with wins over the Dolphins, Raiders, and Ravens, who they've actually beaten. And the 2 close ones were the Bills and the Seahawks. They're good.
The Max Kellerman Show, weekdays at 2 Eastern on ESPN Radio. And now, watch exclusively on ESPN+.
You bump the temperature down at night. don't you? And you probably keep your daytime temperature set below 74 degrees too. Or at least one of you does. While the other complains that
it's freezing in here.
You know what that means? It means your home is too darn humid. If your AC had proper humidity control, you'd both be comfortable at 74 degrees. So you'd never feel sticky at night or during winter or when it rains. Ever been in the mountains out to California in a low humidity environment? Then you know mid-70s can feel magnificent. But when your home's too humid, it turns everything to turd buckets. Because cold air plus humidity equals condensation, causing your ducts, windows, and hard surfaces to sweat. Enter mold and mildew. Not good. With a Florida-rated system, you'd get proper humidity control, so you'd both be comfortable, you'd both sleep better, and you'd both stop fighting over the thermostat. But only if you call
GriffinService.com.
License number 1250697.
No matter what you are driving, you can step up to luxury now at any of the Fields Auto Group dealerships in Jacksonville. Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Yes, it's luxury for less at all Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. Plus, you'll also be part of their exclusive Fields Amenities program, where you will get complimentary loaners, car washes, and cafes. So whatever you're driving, see Fields first and step up to luxury for less during this amazing opportunity. Visit fieldsauto.com.
We should always be looking at our finances, but 2020 made my family take an even closer look, a bit more of a deeper dive, and it might have done the same for you, even into the world of retirement. Although that's a bit down the road for me, it might be closer for you, and your plan should already be under a microscope, and you have to lean on the experts to help guide the right plan. My friend Mike Lester with Talon Wealth Management is the perfect partner. He will provide a complimentary analysis and a plan for you. Call him at 904-515-5000 or visit guardingyournestegg.com. That's 904-515-5000 or guardingyournestegg.com. Mike will give you the guidance you need as retirement gets closer. He can help you convert company plans to private plans, a move that might give you higher returns and more options. You've earned the money. Now make sure you are ready for whenever retirement will be. Call Mike Lester at Talon Wealth Management, 904-515-5000. That's 904-515-5000 or visit guardingyournestegg.com.
For more than 25 years, the potential for health improvement is seen with each patient that walks through our doors. Healthcare decisions don't have to be confusing. Make Island Doctors your medical practice.
My husband and I have been coming to Island Doctors for approximately 10 years, and we have been very happy with them, and we trust them.
Call us today and schedule a tour of one of our locations near you and take a look at our Best Wellness program, and welcome home.
Call 1-877-434-4676 or visit islanddoctors.com.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At Lloyd's Construction and Consulting, we've been celebrating 10 years in business. Over the years, we've constructed thousands of projects in the Northeast Florida region. From commercial to residential, we handle each project with the respect and care it deserves. We look forward to speaking with you about your next construction project. Find out more at lloydsconstruction.net.
You decided to upgrade your outdoor deck. So you ordered the essentials: a power washer, a set of patio chairs, and a shiny new grill. And you use your Bank of America Cash Rewards credit card, choosing to earn 3% cash back on online shopping and up to 5.25% as a preferred rewards member, which you put towards your most essential deck addition, a bird feeder. Apply for yours at bankofamerica.com/more rewarding. Copyright 2020 Bank of America Corporation.
The Max Kellerman Show.
Doug Peterson, if you are losing by 11, like I love aggression in coaches, but there is such a situational football.
The Max Kellerman Show, weekdays at 2 Eastern on ESPN Radio. And now, watch exclusively on ESPN+.
Yeah, it felt great to be back in there. You know, it's something that I really missed. I miss the camaraderie with the guys. I miss being out there. You know, as much as you're always a part of the team, it's just something different, you know, when you really are out there with the guys, and it's always special. You know, I thought we got in a rhythm. It was kind of up and down. You know, I think we can finish drives better.
That is Gardner Minshew, and that is your quarterback against the Baltimore Ravens. Good luck, Gardner. Ravens play tonight.
You remember that preseason game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad Gardner Minshew's playing again. So we'll see what happens.
Does it do much for you? Do you even care about Minshew Mondays anymore?
No, I don't really care about Minshew Mondays so much anymore, but I like watching Minshew play. And here's the thing I don't think people are talking about enough. And this is why I think it was egregious he wasn't playing and he was stuck in that doghouse. I don't know if he's going to be on the team next year. But as of now, I'm thinking he's the backup quarterback next year. And so if I'm the owner, I want my backup quarterback, who's still a young player in the NFL, to grow, experience, learn, mature. Well, what the hell else are we doing in 2020? If you're not doing that, like if you're trying to get better for next year, because that's what you're trying to do with Colin Johnson and Doug Costin and you name it. Why are we doing that with Gardner Minshew? Instead, we're rolling around with Mike Glennon and Jake Luton and all these guys. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why you should be playing Minshew. Whether you think Minshew's good or not, whether you think Minshew runs out of the pocket too much, unless you can tell me unequivocally that he's not going to be the backup next year, then Gardner Minshew should be playing, because you might need Gardner Minshew at some point next year, and I want him to get as much experience as possible.
Absolutely.
Brett Martin, Austin Lane, Coos back here on a Monday. Hope you're doing well, everybody, as we head into the holidays. All right, here's the question. I asked for the break. Do you have an answer? Trevor Lawrence, Dabo Swinney. It's a package deal. You get Trevor Lawrence and Dabo Swinney, or you get Urban Meyer and Justin Fields. A or B. That's it.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Coach quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, I'm putting more emphasis on the quarterback here more than the head coach, just because what I hear and what my eyes tell me is that he could be a very, very special guy. Not to say that Justin Fields can't be, but go ahead and give me the guy that I saw playing a national championship game a few times. Go ahead and give me Trevor Lawrence and Dabo Swinney.
That's interesting. Now, how much would you say? I understand why you're going with Lawrence, but so would you think Swinney would fit? Or are you saying that kind of like a fine?
Oh, no. Listen, I'm not pumped up about it, obviously. I'm not excited from the coaching angle. But I also think that Dabo kind of has that goofiness a little bit that Pete Carroll kind of brings to the table. Now, what kind of ship he would run, I have no idea at the NFL level. But I just think that in terms of maybe relating to the players, like, listen, he's like that crazy uncle, right? But for some reason, Clemson loves playing for him. He gets the most out of his players, and I think that kind of personality could translate to the next level. So go give me Trevor Lawrence, give me Dabo.
Well, it's funny because here's my reaction is Urban and Fields. I feel like...
Now, keep in mind, they don't have a relationship, though, because, I mean, Meyer wasn't there when Fields was there.
I get it, but it's crazy. We're not that far removed from Meyer being his program. And so I feel, and Day was underneath and all that stuff. So I kind of feel like there's still a connection there.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I mean, that's what I feel like. And I might be totally wrong on that. But I kind of listen, I believe in Fields anyway. Yep. I think if you told me I could take Lawrence or Fields, I would still take Lawrence. The good money says Lawrence. But I'm not as convinced as everybody else that, there's going to be this huge gap in the NFL careers of Lawrence and Fields. I really don't think so. I think Fields is going to be a good player in the NFL.
It could be like Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow. You don't know.
Yeah, could be. Look, we never know.
Yeah.
But I feel like I know more about what I'm going to get with Urban at the NFL level. I feel like I know a little bit more about that. Hey, we'll talk more about, just obviously it's a silly season. We'll talk more about the Bruins. We'll talk more about the Jags. We're going to talk next about Keyontae Johnson a little bit because we have an update.
Yeah. I just literally read it right now.
Yeah, and it's I don't know what all this means. It doesn't feel good. But scary moment on Saturday in Tallahassee, and the news isn't getting better quick enough for Keyontae Johnson, the basketball player for the Florida Gators. We'll also talk about the Gators football team, too. But next, an update on Keyontae Johnson on the way on ESPN 690.
Boss, hit the gas!
What's going on? You were supposed to check to see if that house had anyone home. Now their porch is on fire.
Boss, I didn't do it. The ding-dong doorbell camera just burst into flames and started melting.
Oh, so it's true. Those things are fire hazards.
Yeah, and now we know another big difference between those cheap ding-dong doorbell cameras and a safe touch security system.
Well, yeah. With Safe Touch, homeowners don't have to worry about their video cameras getting hacked.
Or employees spying on customers.
Or bursting into flames.
Uh-oh. Fire department's coming, boss. Time to go.
I'm way ahead of you. By the way, your eyebrows are completely gone.
Oh, well. Maybe it's an improvement.
Just so I know you still got your senses, recite the Crooks Are Us golden rule again.
Stay away from Safe Touch houses. Don't worry. It's burned into my brain.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
Worthless warranties, slimy salespeople, shady subcontractors. It's no wonder people don't trust most roofing companies. At All Pro Roofing and Consulting LLC, we didn't trust them either. That's why we started our own roofing company. With more than 25 years of experience, we offer industry-leading warranties, simple, fair financing, and no subcontractors. Residential, commercial, even multifamily properties. At All Pro Roofing and Consulting, we've got you covered. Learn more at allproroofingllc.com.
This Christmas, what do you buy for the golfer in your life? Cheap rounds and lots of them. That's what you'll get with a Dream 18 golf card. 8 rounds of golf for less than $12 per round, plus card fees, at great area golf courses, like the Golf Club at Southampton, the Club at Osprey Cove, and Hidden Hills Golf Club. And this isn't just a golf card. You get a free shirt from Baker Sports, a free dome hat, a free smoothie from Smoothie King, plus 15% off any purchase at Palm Beach Autographs. Go to ESPN690.com to purchase the Dream 18 card for just $95. It's the perfect gift just in time for the holidays.
Hey, does your car still only play CDs? No Bluetooth? No CarPlay? You've got an old car, my friend. You know what's better than an old car? A less old car. Get a car or truck that's new to you with a great used car loan from 1-to-1 Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. Get pre-approved for a loan and shop at any dealership in town. Get a low rate and get rid of that old car today. Apply online at 1to1fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
What if the music stopped? If the familiar voices were silenced? If there were no breaking news updates? What if your companion and connection to your community came with a monthly fee? Don't worry, we're free local radio with you wherever you go, celebrating 100 years and looking forward to the next 100. We are broadcasters. Text radio to 52886 and let Congress know you depend on your local TV and radio stations. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
It is the home of the Action Sports Jacks Dream 18, and make it your home course as well. The Golf Club at Southampton in North St. Johns County, located off County Road 210. It's family owned and operated. Southampton is a fun course to play, and the Golf Club at Southampton offers club membership programs starting at just $79. With its elite practice facilities and player-friendly golf course design, it'll be your gateway to a great time with the family or with your buddies. For information on the membership programs, call the Golf Club at Southampton, 904-287-PLAY. Again, it's 904-287-PLAY.
If you're driving less, you could be saving 50%. With pay-per-mile car insurance from Allstate, you can have control over your auto insurance costs by only paying for the miles you drive. Drive less, save 50% with Allstate. You've never been in better hands. Visit allstate.com or call an agent for a quote today.
Pricing varies based on how you buy driving behaviors and includes a daily rate, not applicable in California. Based on annual premium paid by Allstate Standard Auto customers versus Allstate pay-per-mile customers who drive an average of 4,000 miles a year. Savings vary subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and its affiliates. Copyright 2020 Allstate Insurance Company.
It's time for some straight talk. Look, we all drop our phones. It happens. You fumble it, crack it, splash it. Well, Straight Talk Wireless now offers this new Platinum Unlimited plan that includes phone protection. Just $65 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data, plus 20 gigs of hotspot, 100 gigs of cloud storage, and more. All on the best network. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. See Mobile Protect terms and conditions at Asurion.com/Straight Talk. Limitations and exclusions apply.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Here's what's happening. Oregon will replace Washington in Friday's Pac-12 championship game against USC because of the Huskies' COVID-19 issues. For the second straight game, rookie Jalen Hurts is the Eagles' starting quarterback. Coach Doug Peterson announcing today that Hurts will start Sunday against the Cardinals. Carson Wentz, the backup, a second consecutive week. Plenty on the line when the Browns and Ravens meet on Monday Night Football. Cleveland looking for a win to solidify its first playoff spot in 18 years and stay in contention in the AFC North race. Baltimore needs an efficient performance from its offense and QB Lamar Jackson to get a win and stay in the playoff hunt, notes ESPN's Louis Riddick.
We know how good he is in the running game. We saw it last week against the Dallas Cowboys. The question is this: if teams can make him stay in the pocket, throw the football from the pocket, is he able to beat you with efficient passing outside the numbers down the field, especially in third down situations?
Monday Night Football, 8 Eastern, ESPN TV. Lim Kim tied a record for the largest comeback in women's golf history today, rallying down 5 shots in the final round to win the U.S. Women's Open.
I'm telling you, Baker Mayfield will have a huge performance on Monday Night Football and push the Browns to even a higher position in my real ranking. So how high will they rank? Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin, Tuesday, 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
Hey, it's Coos from Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Now, I know there's a ton of ways you can listen to the show, but did you know one of the ways is through a smart speaker? Yes, the Google Home, the Amazon Alexa. Pretty easy to do. Just tell either of them to play ESPN 690. Try it out weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m., and you can listen to Action Sports Jax.
This is Greeny.
I'll tell you who Kyler Murray. People are going to compare him to Michael Vick. He doesn't look anything like Michael Vick to me. People are going to compare him to Lamar Jackson. He doesn't look anything like Lamar Jackson to me. You know who he looks like? If Barry Sanders was a quarterback, he'd have been Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray runs like Barry Sanders. You watch him run, and he's a great quarterback. He's a great thrower of the football. He's the closest thing to Steve Young. That's the best analogy to it.
Greeny, weekdays at noon Eastern on ESPN Radio, your smart speaker, and on the ESPN app.
Hey everyone, this is Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Hope you catch the show Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. on 10 different platforms. But if you missed the show today, you missed this. Are the Buffalo Bills for real?
I think they are. I mean, I've been a big Josh Allen supporter. I mean,
how about his start?
Oh, yeah. Hey, I'm not surprised.
I guess Jalen Ramsey wasn't right about him being trash. Subscribe to the podcast and check the show out on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Get the podcast daily. All you have to do is search ESPN 690 in your podcast app.
Keyshawn Johnson, Jay Williams, and Zubin Mahente.
James Harden, if he wanted to get to Brooklyn, could get to Brooklyn. Him, Kyrie, and Kevin Durant. If that happens, they would be the favorite to come out of the East. That could be your NBA Finals next year. The Lakers, LeBron, AD, Dennis Schroeder versus the Brooklyn Nets, Kevin Durant, Kyrie, and James Harden.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin. Weekday mornings at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio or streaming live on the ESPN app.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
Oh, I like when you answer some of our questions on social media. So we asked a package deal. You get 2 options. You get Dabo Swinney and Trevor Lawrence. Got to get them together. So if you want Trevor, you got to get Dabo. Or you get Urban Myers and Urban Myers. Sorry, Herbs.
You call him Herbs now?
Urban Meyer.
You call him Herbs?
And Justin Fields.
Okay.
So A, actually on my list here on Twitter is A is Urban Meyer and Justin Fields. B is Swinney and Trevor Lawrence.
Oh, you can vote?
You would take Trevor Lawrence and Swinney.
Yeah.
And I would take Myers and Fields. So some interesting responses to this along the way.
Do you want me
Your
to
coach has entered the portal. It's such a long handle name that I had to click on his full profile to see it. What is people's fascination with college coaches, especially ones who only win because they can recruit? Anyone can win at Madden when you create a custom team full of 99 OVR players. Listen, I understand that take, but Urban Meyer can flat out coach. And those guys are culture builders. And around here in Jacksonville, you need culture.
Yes.
The culture's been not good enough. Okay, so that's what I would say. Matt Sermon says, what happens in 3-4 years when he gets heartburn or indigestion and wants to spend more time with his family? Rather have Oscar Meyer or Mayer. What else we got? A, Dome Hats. What's up, Dome Hats? By the way, get a free Dome hat with the golf card Action Sports Jax, Stream18.com or ESPN690.com. Free Dome hat.
Flex.
Yep. There you go. Thanks, Dome hats. They said A, Fields and Meyer. Josh says B, because a QB can last longer than a coach, and Trevor Lawrence might be transcendent. I don't like either as a package, though. That's not the question. Dilla says A. Dilla's jumping in. What's up, Dilla? A, 99 problems. And something else says. Jay Football says, hell no, your journalists, broadcasters need to stop talking about him, meaning Meyer. He has a job. There's other coaches out there that you don't have to worry about quitting. Johnny, Duval Doom. Oof, it's much tougher for me than I would have thought. In this scenario, I think I go A, but it's close. That's Urban and Fields. Matt says Urban would leave in 3 years with a fake illness. Give me B all day. Muzzy 61, it would be a big reason to jump ship. I don't know if that was related to the same one. Smashes the A button. Another A. B this time. Swinney is better than Urban. Lawrence is better than Fields. I don't understand why anyone would choose A. Okay. My concern is year 4, and if they start losing, he might get a heart attack or some other end my contract health-related thing. Scott Glazier says B. Christian Montoya says, why would either come here? So C, none of the above. So here's the deal. So people are afraid of Urban that he might leave.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting? Here's what I would say to that. Sign me up tomorrow for 7 to 8 wins next year. 9 to 10 wins the year following, and 11 to 12 wins the year following. And then if Urban wants to bid adieu, I'll say thank you. Because it's one thing that Gator fans still hasn't done enough to Urban Meyer, probably. They still hate the fact that he left.
Yeah.
But Gator fan hasn't said thank you for the 2 national titles enough.
Yeah, but let's pump the brakes real quick. You think Urban Meyer can come in here and next year win 10 games? There's no way.
Listen, don't hold me to the numbers, but you get my point.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think Urban Meyer would come in here with what's at his disposal right now. And again, you got to pair him up with a good GM. You got to make a lot of right decisions. I'm just saying, I think this thing is pretty well set. I think this thing is pretty well set up for someone, so much so that I say this is a no-excuse job for the GM and the head coach. Like, if you screw this up and don't win in the next 2, 3, 4 years in Jacksonville, that's on you. That's not because, hey, that was because we didn't have enough money. We didn't have enough draft picks. It's Jacksonville. No. There's no excuse for the next people that come in here. This thing is set up. Anybody would take this. The only hesitation to take this at all is because if you say Jacksonville. But that's an unfair one, too, because the owner will spend money, and the owner's going to show patience.
Well, it's because of Jacksonville and what they have on their team right now. Like, there's not a lot of guys to get excited about if you're a coach coming in here.
Not a lot, but enough to do for a start. It's not ripped down to the.
Well, no, it's not ripped down. But listen, say you're Urban Meyer, say you're Dabo right now, and say that you're a coach coming in the Jacksonville Jaguars. You signed. Who are you excited to lead your team out there and to play football with?
Well, I'm excited that I have an offensive line. I'm excited about DJ Chark. I'm excited about Laviska Shenault. I'm excited about James Robinson. On the defensive side, I'm excited about Josh Allen. I do have C.J. Henderson. I don't know how everybody views him, but I have, I mean, I've got 2 draft picks.
You're excited about C.J. Henderson?
Well, I've got 2 young players that I think every personnel guy in the NFL would say, I'll take those guys on my team right now. They're first-year guys that if I didn't pick them at number 9, I would have picked them at 19. If I didn't pick Chase on at 20, I would have picked him at 35.
Listen, man, but what I'm trying to say is name the guys right now. You come in, they're like, these are the guys going forward.
I just named 7 or 8 of them on offense, and another 3 or 4 of them.
We don't know what C.J. Henderson's going to be.
Miles Jack.
There you go, Miles Jack.
Josh Allen. And I named 7 guys on offense.
How many on defense, 2?
Yeah, that with resumes, I think you just got the 2.
Okay. Interesting. It's not a lot.
Well, you're asking me to find Pro Bowl guys. If I'm putting a 53-man roster, yes, you are.
No,
because
I'm not.
Again, if I'm putting together a 53-man roster, I'll take a young C.J. Henderson, a Chase on. I'll take DeJuan Smoot for depth.
I'll take Joe Schobert. You're not listening to the question. The question is, which of these guys are going to be the guys going forward? They're going to get you excited. They're going to be the leaders going forward. They're going to be the pillars.
I just named you 7.
Okay, but you're naming C.J. Henderson. Like, we don't know what C.J. Henderson's going to be.
I took C.J. Henderson out of there for you.
Well, we can assume that Laviska Shenault could be that guy, but we're not talking Laviska Shenault quite yet. Like, if you had Justin Jefferson, would you feel a little better right now, or do you want Laviska Shenault?
I feel better if I had Nick Bosa and if I had Tom Brady.
I'm
and
just
if I had,
saying, man, in terms of the pillars, in terms of leaders going forward, yes, James Robinson. Yes, some of these offensive linemen. I'm not going to name all the offensive linemen.
I'll take their offensive line right now. Yep.
Okay. Some of them, I mean, I don't know, man. But all I'm saying is there's not a lot of guys, at least I feel, in my opinion, on the defense. And there's a couple on the offense that you're excited about if you're a head coach. Like, I can go roster to roster to roster right now, and I can say, this guy excites me. This guy's going to be a leader. This guy already is a leader. This guy's a leader. This guy's a leader. The Jaguars don't have a lot of that.
Okay, let's do it. Houston.
Oh, man.
Their job's open.
All right,
who are you
let's
excited
check it
about?
out. Deshaun Watson. Well, Will Fuller's not going to be there anymore. Hold up. Let me go over the roster. Because, I mean, I don't have the roster right in front of me, so if you give me a second.
Because I think what you do, you're going to be excited about a handful of guys on any roster, and then you hope that you have other players on there that complement them. That's the way it works.
I'm excited to have players who I can say, this guy is going to be a leader for us down the line. Deshaun Watson is going to be that guy.
Yes.
David Johnson's going to be thrust into that role because of what they spent on him.
Okay.
Kiki Kuti is going to be that guy. Brandon Cooks, absolutely. I think Jordan Akins is coming on. He's one of the better tight ends right now in the AFC South. I'd put him there. Titus Howard, absolutely. J.J. Watt, no kidding. Whitney Merciless, yes. You know Whitney Merciless?
Yeah, go read on Whitney Merciless. Nobody's seen him for the last month. Hasn't even showed up on a play.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm excited about an aging Whitney Merciless. I'm excited about an aging David Johnson. Because I invested in him. I invested in C.J. Henderson.
I would say some of the offensive linemen. Did I just name more on the Houston Texans without even looking at the roster, or did I name more on the Jacksonville Jaguars?
You named more that I wouldn't agree with.
Who don't you agree with?
Why am I excited about Kuti?
Kiki Kuti?
Why?
Because he's their slot guy right now. He's having a pretty good year taking over for Will Fuller.
But I shouldn't be excited about Shenault or DJ Chark?
Whatever, man. I'm not denying DJ Chark. I think DJ Chark he's a Pro Bowler. He could be an All-Pro. I think he could be a top 10 receiver. I never once said DJ Chark's not going to be a leader. All I said was, do we know Laviska Shenault's going to be the guy? Are we positive yet? Because I know in Minnesota right now, they love Justin Jefferson. Do we love Laviska Shenault like they love Justin Jefferson? Absolutely not. So I feel like I'm not quite sold on Laviska Shenault going forward. I've seen a lot of great things. But to say he's going to be that guy, he's going to be a Pro Bowler, he's going to be a leader, I think is a little up in the air.
Okay, so we can disagree but still name 7 or 8 guys on each squad.
There you go, man.
Right?
I mean, what do you want me to tell you, Brent? Like, I'm sitting here and saying I'm not sold on Laviska Shenault. I hate to tell you, like, the numbers, I get it, man. He's been hurt. He's very, like, I'm intrigued, but I'm not sold he's going to be a leader 3 or 4 years. Like, I can't see in a smoke screen where it's like 3 or 4 years down the line, Laviska Shenault's going to be this guy. I don't know that.
But if I'm coming in here and I'm Urban Meyer or Dabo Swinney, I can say, I have that guy to work with.
Yeah, listen.
That's
you know
the moral of the story.
At the end of the day, give me Deshaun Watson over anybody we just named on the Jacksonville Jaguars.
One guy, yeah.
One guy that plays the most important position in all of sports.
Well, and that's going to be the thing, right? One guy with no cap space, with no draft picks, with no anything else to build on. So that's what we're talking about. Like, why would they come to Jacksonville was the thing.
Yeah.
Well, we know that every personnel person, every football person would say Jacksonville's a pretty good spot right now.
Sure.
And then, but they do ask that question.
Picks, yep.
Deshaun Watson, because you have the quarterback, or draft your own guy and build around it with what you have. Money, picks, and already some talent that's here.
Yeah.
So that's the question.
But once again, man, and like I don't want to repeat myself.
It's not just singly about C.J. Henderson or Laviska Shenault. It's about, do you have enough here? You don't have enough. But do you have some guys that you would say, okay, I can start with that. We just got to go get more.
But does that matter, though, at the end of the day? Like, see, this conversation to me is fruitless because we can say you got all these things, but it doesn't matter. Because a couple weeks ago, I broke down and I told you why it doesn't matter. You think Matt Rule had a lot at his disposal when he went to Carolina? You think money was the only factor? You think Matt Rule went to Carolina because they gave him that big contract? It's got to be more to it than that.
No, Matt Rule, I think, went to Carolina because he had some pieces there that he liked.
What did he have at Carolina?
Christian McCaffrey.
Okay.
That's a pretty damn good start. Maybe
Great
the
start.
best player in the NFL,
Great
arguably.
start. And the Giants got Saquon Barkley. Who else did they have, though, in Carolina?
Well, they found out they have Miles Davis. Or
Mike Davis. Miles Davis? No, yeah. Okay. I mean, he was a backup running back, but yeah.
They had whatever ability to go get Teddy Bridgewater, which I assume Rule knew that was part of the plan coming in.
But does Teddy Bridgewater do it for you, though? Let's be honest.
I didn't do it for me, but he did enough that he has an opportunity to go get him. I mean, Matt Rule might not like Fields either, but maybe Urban Meyer does and say, hey, we have an opportunity to get him. I think the reason why Matt Rule took that job is because he got 8 years.
Maybe.
That's why.
Well,
because he can take all that what we just talked about. Said, I don't have enough here, but I'm going to have time to get enough, acquire enough.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, man, like, listen, and I've been very adamant about this. I get that the 8 years looks great and they have faith in you, but no coach goes into a situation and says, well, I got time to put up my feet because I have 8 years. Like, that's not how the coaching philosophy works. I guarantee you Matt Rule sat down in those Carolina meetings and said, we're going to win right now, and here's how we're going to do it. And if you want to talk like that, and you see that roster, there wasn't a lot of pieces to build from. Yes, you had Christian McCaffrey. Yes, you had a backup running back. You eventually got Robbie Anderson, one of the most underrated wide receivers in the entire NFL. But in terms of a defense, in terms of an offensive line, you didn't really have much to write home about, but he still went there. So you can't tell me that, like, money's everything. Something else had to be there.
Yeah, I don't believe it's money as much as it is time.
Yeah.
You know, I do, but I believe time will be an interesting factor here. You know, again, Jason Fitz says it when he joins us on Tuesdays, and I think people are going to look at Matt Rule's contract. I think people are going to look at the Raiders and what they did with Gruden, 10-year deal. And I'm not saying it's going to mimic that, but I think time's going to, and that's what makes this attractive to a degree as well, because Shad has already shown patience with guys that don't even have that length of contract. I mean, 8 years with Caldwell, 8 years with Todd Wash, 4 years and 4 years with the coach. So I think that patience and time will benefit the Jaguars as well. Will he be willing to go, hey, here's a 6-year deal, here's a 7-year deal? I don't know. Depends who they get. But I even think time is showing up in a different topic we'll talk about, the Buffalo Bills. They are giving Josh Allen time, and look at the development, right? They didn't squeeze him. Be like, oh, no, we don't think he's enough or he's good enough. Boom. No, we're going to work with him. We're going to develop him. And 3 years later, look what's working out for him. All right, let's go from that and break away from football for a moment, because we have some important news on Keyontae Johnson. And first of all, just tough story. I mean, it's there's no other way to say it. It's a tough story.
Yeah.
Feel for the young man, feel for the Gators basketball program, feel for just everybody involved. And we all sit here and wait and wonder now about the health of Keyontae Johnson, the fantastic basketball player for the Gators, who collapsed on Saturday morning in Tallahassee against Florida State after an alley-oop in a timeout, and was taken to Tallahassee Hospital, stayed overnight, has now been moved, according to his family. I think it's his grandfather who talked to USA Today and said that he is in a medically induced coma and has been moved to Gainesville and transported. This article in the USA Today that speaks to his grandfather says, the quote is this: "They're just not sure. He may have had activity in the brain, so they induced the coma. They put him on medication to keep him sedated." I think this also says that he could come out of the medically induced coma as soon as this afternoon. Florida very quiet, expectedly, on this front. That's the latest. That's an update that we haven't had since yesterday morning, and that's coming from the family. The quiet nature of this is what's really the scary part, I think, from my standpoint. The fact that Mike White didn't talk right after the game, he was going to. He was going to be the only one. And that was certainly understandable given the emotions of that Gator basketball team. But then he didn't.
Yeah.
And he went right to the hospital. And then the statement on Sunday morning. And outside of that, been very, very quiet on Keyontae Johnson. And again, it's kind of not our business from a medical standpoint, but there's a curiosity involved. And the quiet nature of this, the longer people stay silent, you wonder what's going on.
It seems
and
like
what
the whole
don't they
world's
know,
watching.
right?
Yeah.
And what don't they know? Because if they knew more, then I think we would probably get some sort of an update on Keyontae Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's a very scary situation. And obviously it was all over social media and everything. I didn't watch the video. I don't need to watch the video. I get it, okay? I don't need to watch the video of him collapsing. And I wasn't watching that game live at the time. But, you know, it's kind of a slippery slope a little bit because, yes, this is a major incident. He's in the hospital right now, and you have to respect the family's privacy and his privacy. And obviously I think right now the coaches, obviously the parents or the grandparents or whoever else is responsible for him, they know a lot more than we know right now. But it's hard because we're sitting here, and usually when these things happen, you hear good news. He's awake. He's making a full recovery.
Yeah.
This is what happened. Like, this is the world that we live in. Not saying it's right or wrong, but like this is we live by that 24-hour news cycle.
Yeah, we usually know something,
and we're updated by now, right? And all we have to go off of is this kid's in a medically induced coma, and that's pretty much it. You hear the word coma, that's not good.
No, and prior to that, by the way, it was critical but stable condition, which that also is concern. I mean, the longer it stays in critical condition, I have concerns. I'm not a doctor. I don't even know. We looked up what those terms mean, but I think what those terms mean that a lot of the vitals are not exactly where they want them to be, but they're controlling things, and obviously the medically induced coma indicates that as well. So, listen, great doctors, some of the best in the world, right? Tallahassee to Gainesville, it's great hands. But as novices of this stuff and just on the outside world looking in, there is still mega concern about the health of Keyontae Johnson, as there should be.
Well, and the biggest thing that I was trying to get at is the fact that we haven't heard the positive update yet.
No.
And then that's what we live for in the media. Yeah, the all clear, where it's like, all right, here's what happened, here's why it happened, and we talk about it. We aren't there yet, and I think until we get to that point, we're going to be caught in kind of like in this, I guess, like this limbo, I guess you would say, where it's like we're just waiting to see like everybody else is, and that's scary. Like, it's scary because if you watch that video, I heard about it. I heard it's very graphic. It's very unsettling. And when you pinpoint that to where he's at right now, there's still a lot of unanswered questions.
Yeah, I hesitate, and in fact, I hesitate so much that I'm not going to do it. I'm not even going to bring up. There are a lot of different things that will come about over this. There's a lot of storylines.
Yeah.
There's storylines of how it will impact their basketball team going forward. There's storylines of that whether he had, and the grandfather did not confirm in the USA Today story, whether he had COVID-19 or he was just quarantined, but the basketball team was quarantined at one time. So there are stories that will follow this, but I don't think that's for today. I think this is still so much about Keyontae Johnson and his health. The emotions of that day, I only can imagine what that basketball team is feeling. Both teams were touched by it, both coaches, both programs, both fan bases. College basketball, I mean, the messages around the country were pretty incredible, the outpouring support. So we don't know where this is going to land. It's unbelievable at times. We see this in sports. We see it in terms of injury. That almost is like, my goodness, right? From Gordon Hayward when the grotesque injury. Alex Smith, the injury. Mackenzie Milton, who, by the way, is now going to end up coming back and trying to play at Florida State.
I remember
that injury.
That basketball player from, and I forgot his name, the guy from Louisville in the tournament. I think it was a tournament. Yeah, the NCAA tournament.
Yes, Hank Gathers. And
Thank you very much,
but I was going to get to that. We see injuries that are massive and are like, oh my gosh, they catch our attention. They make us pause a little bit. And then we have, when I was a kid, it was such a huge moment, and I remember as Hank Gathers, and obviously the connection to Bo Kimball after that. But Hank Gathers, Loyola Marymount was, in my psyche, a major story of my life in terms of sports and sadness and tragedy that I would bring up. And everybody kind of went there, which I think is a dangerous thing to do right now as well with this situation. But it does, if we're being honest, pop in your head. Yeah. So there is so much going on around this story that, again, I think it's mostly for another day. I think this is just something that right now we can continually say it, thoughts and prayers, whatever you believe in, but this is, it seems like still a very serious situation for Keyontae Johnson. I guess the only issue you could say here on a Monday that I'm willing to talk about until we know more on this young man's health is, should they have played the game? Did you have a problem with them playing the game? I would just be honest with you. I didn't as much. I know some people have second-guessed that. I know they asked both. The players, I think in most situations, are going to say yes. I don't think they know exactly what's going on at the time. Yeah. I'm also not as critical as some others about Mike White should have left and gone. Listen, this is such a unique circumstance that even when he did go down, I don't think anybody expected us to still be talking about it like this on Monday in the initial moments. So I'm not critical of it, but I understand why people questioned whether they should have played the game.
Yeah, I'm not critical of it either, but I'll be honest with you, I can't believe those players still played, from his team. Because, I always compare it to the Austin Collie hit. And it was really the hit that ended Austin Collie's career.
Yeah, you saw that up close.
I saw it up close, and I heard him snoring, and I heard him making noises I never heard a human being make before. And I'll be honest, I thought he was dead. And that was the first time in that moment where I thought, this isn't a game, man. Like there's more to it than just having fun and jumping around and stuff. Like that was literally, I was in the NFL and I thought that for the first time. I saw injuries here, their ACLs.
Yeah, this is real life.
But this is like real life here from that injury. And I always kind of think, and nothing against basketball players, but with football players, we have our pads on, right? It almost feels like armor. It's almost like we're in the arena and everything like that. And it's like, we're tough. Yeah, Austin Collie was okay. Let's move on. With basketball, I feel like it's more emotional. It's more personal because it's just you. It's just you and your shorts and your jersey. And I can't imagine what his teammates were going through. And I can't imagine his teammates trying to find a way to finish that game after that incident.
Even at the college level, though, we are so wowed by the impressive nature of how good of athletes these guys are in basketball, NBA and college. Moments before this, before he collapsed, and now we sit and wait and we continue to share all the thoughts with Keyontae Johnson and his family and everybody around that program. He's seemingly 8 feet above the rim with an alley-oop. Yeah. And 30 seconds later, it's this. It's just a stark reality of something we don't see very often in sports, but now here it is. And the latest, medically induced coma, according to his grandfather, and according to USA Today. That's the latest on Keyontae Johnson. We'll continue to follow this story and hopefully get better news and good news in the hours and days ahead on the Florida Gators basketball player. We'll take a timeout. We come back. We shift back to football, including a massive game and how it tilted potentially the national championship story in college football. It happened in Gainesville Saturday night, Florida and LSU. We'll talk about it next.
Action Sports Jax with Brent Martineau on ESPN 690 is brought to you by Best Bet Jacksonville and Orange Park.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Variable cloudiness today with a few brief showers, highs in the mid to upper 70s, partly cloudy tonight into the upper 40s, and a cooler day tomorrow. It'll be partly cloudy with an isolated shower in your Tuesday high 66. Join me beginning at 5 p.m. for CBS 47 at Fox 30 Action News Jax from the First Alert Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds. Just in time for the holidays, save up to 40% on everything store-wide at Beards Diamonds.
After such an emotional year, she deserves a gift that brings out the best emotions possible. Happiness, joy, and love. At Diamonds Direct, we specialize in creating those memorable moments. And this year, we believe they're more important than ever. So, for the entire month of December, we're making it easy with 48 months zero-interest financing on everything. All rings, all earrings, all bracelets and pendants, all bands, and yes, all designer jewelry, including thousands of engagement rings with certified natural diamonds. With Diamonds Direct's expanded holiday selection, it's like shopping 50 jewelry stores at once. And rest assured, in our showrooms, we're going above and beyond when it comes to your safety. Plus, we're offering video chat, online shopping, and curbside pickup. However you connect with us, you'll get the best value, the highest quality, and the financing that makes everything affordable. 4 years, zero interest. After all you've been through this year, end it on a high note by celebrating your love with a gift that's romantic, timeless, and symbolic. From Diamonds Direct.
Off Town Center Parkway, just left of the Hyatt.
We should always be looking at our finances, but 2020 made my family take an even closer look, a bit more of a deeper dive, and it might have done the same for you, even into the world of retirement. Although that's a bit down the road for me, it might be closer for you, and your plan should already be under a microscope, and you have to lean on the experts to help guide the right plan. My friend Mike Lester with Talon Wealth Management is the perfect partner. He will provide a complimentary analysis and a plan for you. Call him at 904-515-5000 or visit guardingyournestegg.com. That's 904-515-5000 or guardingyournestegg.com. Mike will give you the guidance you need as retirement gets closer. He can help you convert company plans to private plans, a move that might give you higher returns and more options. You've earned the money. Now make sure you are ready for whenever retirement will be. Call Mike Lester at Talon Wealth Management, 904-515-5000. That's 904-515-5000 or visit guardingyournestegg.com.
Nothing is certain except death and taxes. And your appliance is breaking down as soon as they're out of warranty. At Atlantic Coast Appliance, we can't help with the first two, but we've got the third one covered. Our factory-trained and certified technicians have been repairing appliances for more than 35 years, with a 90-day warranty on parts and labor and a 100% satisfaction guarantee. For quality repair at a price that's fair, trust Atlantic Coast Appliance. AtlanticCoastAppliance.com. That's AtlanticCoastAppliance.com.
The pizza you'll soon be eating contains more than 55 years of tradition. Donato's Pizza started in Columbus, Ohio in 1963 with a commitment to serve delicious, fresh-made premium pizza. Donato's in Jax Beach is still proud to deliver their made-to-order, edge-to-edge goodness right to your door or at their convenient pickup window. Check out their unusually wide variety of options at 904donatos.com. It's no joke when they say they have something for everyone. That's 904donatos.com. Give it a try and see what you think.
For more than 25 years, the potential for health improvement is seen with each patient that walks through our doors. Healthcare decisions don't have to be confusing. Make Island Doctors your medical practice.
My husband and I have been coming to Island Doctors for approximately 10 years, and we have been very happy with them, and we trust them.
Call us today and schedule a tour of one of our locations near you and take a look at our Best Wellness program. And welcome home.
Call 1-877-434-4676 or visit islanddoctors.com.
Do you know that there are 7 steps that can help to ensure a lifetime of success for your child or grandchild, even though they may have trouble controlling their anger or lack of focus or respect for others? Karate America takes pride in the tens of thousands of children they've impacted. Imagine your child or grandchild showing and earning respect, setting and achieving goals, and making good grades. Visit karateamerica.info to see if Karate America's leadership program is a good fit for your child.
No matter what you are driving, you can step up to luxury now at any of the Fields Auto Group dealerships in Jacksonville. Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Yes, it's luxury for less at all Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. Plus, you'll also be part of their exclusive Fields Amenities program, where you will get complimentary loaners, car washes, and cafes. So whatever you're driving, see Fields first and step up to luxury for less during this amazing opportunity. Visit fieldsauto.com. Hey everybody, this is Brent Martineau. Social distancing doesn't mean disconnecting. If you're working from home or just steering clear of coworkers, keep tabs on the world of sports and Action Sports Jax on your smart speaker. Tell your Amazon Echo or Google Home to play ESPN 690.
Brent Martineau.
Well, listen, if we wanted to just bump WWE by like a half hour or a few minutes, we should have just rolled your highlight tape.
Austin Lane.
Oh! And there it is. And now Brent's playing ball. All of a sudden, Chapman throwing some high heat at me. Watch out for that suspension, Brent. Real quick, though.
Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
It's been different for sure. I'm just trying to, help Mike any way I could. Just help the team any way I could through preparation, through practice. But, there's always that itch, and, there's really nothing to scratch it other than just getting out there and playing.
That's Gardner Minshew, now the Jags starting quarterback. Again. It's usually a big thing, but when you're 1-12, kind of doesn't feel like a big thing. Welcome to our world,
and
where the offseason can't come soon enough, and Urban Meyer in a potential scenario, if you will, is more of a big thing. Because the rumor mill has started here in the silly season with 3 weeks to go in the NFL season.
Can I ask you a question real quick, Brent?
I can't wait.
And I want honesty. I want eye contact when you answer this question because I can tell. All right, I'm a pro poker player. I can tell when you're bluffing. Urban Meyer, how much are his people paying you to talk him up right now? Because you seem to be on the Urban Meyer train. You're really pushing him right now.
Listen,
how much?
I don't do that.
How much, Brent?
I wish a lot.
We get a TV in here?
Yes. If Urban Meyer is hired, I'll buy a TV.
To put
in here.
Yeah, a little caveat at the end, man. Oh, you buy a TV? What, a projection for the outdoor fireplace, or one in here? In here, okay.
I want to talk a little bit more Urban Meyer in a bit because I want to revisit something. We talked to Urban Meyer, remember, last month?
We did.
And it was about, I really liked what he said about culture and everything.
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
But, I really did. We brought that up. This wasn't related to the Jags job. But, again, we've been trying to figure out what the hell's wrong with the Jags. And so when you say that, and then I heard Urban Meyer talk about this on Fox, I think it was during the college football coverage.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that makes some sense now. And I didn't relate it at all to, hey, let's bring Urban. But now that this rumor's out there, it's like, okay, I'm going to go back. I want to revisit. I want to remember what he said. And see if it still adds up in my mind, because if that's what he's bringing,
yeah.
I remember
it was three
things,
right? Yeah.
It was three things that you have to have success. And again, this guy has had success, so he knows what that looks like. You can disagree with this a lot of different things, and I know there's stuff on Urban that you can not like and all that, but you can't disagree with his success.
Yeah.
And so to be honest with you, man, I don't care. I don't care what you get in here in Jacksonville.
I hear you.
I really don't anymore.
Just make it exciting.
Guy doesn't have to win the press
intriguing.
conference.
Yeah.
Guy doesn't have to be a great soundbite.
Yeah.
The guy doesn't have to like me.
Yeah.
The guy doesn't have to talk to me. I don't give a crap what you get in Jacksonville, but can we get something that equals a W?
Let's
like,
be
that's
honest,
where
Brent.
I'm at.
He's going to like you, man, because he's got some great taste in sports radio shows here in Jacksonville. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say.
Let's hope so. Hey, best shoe headline from the weekend. What did you see that stood out? I mean, there was the meme of LSU. That was good.
Yeah. That's kind of. I felt you're kind of milking it in though with that.
How
one.
ironic though
LSU.
that Gardner Minshew gets named the starting quarterback this weekend.
Big week for the shoes. Big week for the shoes. Listen, this goes to show you how far the game has come since 2009, if I'm not mistaken. I want to go back to Eastern Illinois real quick. Normal, Illinois. You ever heard of Normal, Illinois? That's what it's called. That's where the Eastern Illinois Panthers play. Home of Tony Romo.
Home of Sean Payton.
Home of Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
That's a big football city. Now, keep in mind, sponsored by New Balance, so how legit are you, right? Like, the only team I've ever came across that was sponsored by New Balance.
You'd be one of those quarterbacks or offensive minds, and I don't care what shoe you wear.
They literally, I'm not even exaggerating here, they had the gray New Balance cleats. Not even, and they're blue and black. Gray on the bottom. Like, man, hey, I'm not sure what that contract looked like. I'm not sure if there's some kind of perks underneath the table. Maybe some of these players are rolling around in Mercedes-Benzes, for all I know. But all I'm saying is, when you rock New Balances, no one's taking you seriously. Now, they beat us every single year, okay? Good team, Eastern Illinois. Very proud football tradition. They beat us. But I want to go back to my junior year, and this is actually during the A-Train road trip I was talking about last week, right? So A-Train road trip, we got about 125 people at the game. Big game for me, Brent, obviously, right? People are tailgating in the parking lot, pounding brewskis. I had to have a big game. And you know me. Maybe you don't know me, but you should know me by now. I'm a very intense individual when it comes to crossing those white lines. And during that game, an offensive lineman's helmet seemed to fall off in a pile. And I took it upon myself to pick up that helmet, and I chucked that helmet as far as I could towards the opposite direction. The thing must have landed about 25 to 30 yards down the field. The offensive lineman goes, what the bleep, basically. And I go, I'm just like, hey, you like that? Yeah, go get it. I ain't going to get it. And I even told him, like, go get it. But the best part about this story was the ref. Because keep in mind, we're in a big pile, right? There's like a skirmish or whatever. I pick up the helmet. I throw it. The ref sees the whole thing. The ref just goes, come on, 97. Come on.
That's
it. Doesn't throw a flag or anything. I mean, literally, it was like to the point, like when you see someone saying, come on, 97. Where it's just like, you're like a substitute teacher and you're in a classroom, you've lost all control, and you're just like, come on, guys.
I don't have any more flags left.
Please sit down, guys. Like that's what it was, Brent. And literally, no penalty, just a little come on, a little slap on the wrist, and it is what it is.
So is this your way of trying to tell me that you don't think that should have been a penalty?
I don't think so.
Are you serious?
I'm serious, man. Because I get it. Dude, like, the whole mental... Listen.
Hey, Kuz.
Brent.
Is there something I don't know about?
Well, what's up?
Is he being recruited by another station in town?
What's up?
Is he being recruited at all?
Oh, no. No.
I just wondered.
No, man, no.
I mean, is there something up behind the scenes?
to be silent.
But behind the scenes, go on Twitter. They never tweeted me back.
Oh, just making sure.
Mo Southwest all day, every day. All right? I must be following a Mo Southwest page. Anyways. Flex. Little flex. Anyways, listen, Brent, I have no ties to the Florida Gators, right? Honestly, we
both don't.
And listen, and with all due respect to the Florida fans out there, I could care less about you guys. Really. I mean, I'm going to cover you, and I'll talk about you.
Florida fan, I love you, as long as you're listening.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I said with all due respect to the fans, Brent, and I meant it this time. So listen, but I could care less about if they win or they lose. I mean, yeah, Kyle Trask, fun story, yada, yada, yada. But I truly think throwing a shoe, a penalty that costs you essentially the game, and it's not just that one play.
Of course not.
But It was a big play, though.
It was a big play.
I think that one play that when you throw a shoe, you're playing the game, mental warfare, physical warfare, if you will. I love it, man. I absolutely love it. And if I'm a referee, I have no idea how you make that call. And by the way, didn't the referee go for throwing a shoe?
The greatest line. I mean, we're going to have it in the next break, or hopefully we're going to have to find it. But Kuz didn't read the rundown. So it was an unbelievable announcement.
Yeah.
For throwing the LSU player's shoe 20 yards down the field.
Now listen, you're on company time right now. You're an SEC official. Stop clout chasing. That's all that was.
It was a great call.
It was funny. Yeah, I laughed my butt off. But let's be honest. You could have said just, no. Like, you wanted to get some of that clout. You want to be on College Game Day the next week with your call.
He's everywhere.
He got what you wanted.
He got what he wanted.
Yeah.
Listen, you can't do it. It was, listen, you see the towels come out now,
sure,
right? And I think it even happened earlier in the game. You tackle a guy and you kind of like the towel goes in the air. You can't take a guy's shoe and throw it down the field. I mean, he threw it. He did throw it 20 yards. By the way, how far could you throw a shoe? How far did you throw the helmet that game?
I told you. It was like, the best part was it was probably realistically 15 yards, and then it rolled. Because it landed just right.
Slow motion.
Oh, yeah. And I literally go to that's right. Go get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bocce.
Bocce ball.
But that's, by the way, you gave a great example. I don't know, like the towel is one thing.
Sure.
It's like a light as a feather.
Yeah.
The shoe, what if it was a helmet?
Mm-hmm.
That's why that's why you can't do it. Like there's two things. I mean, you can't do it. You just can't, because you can't. I mean, we all know. Listen, my kid's a Gator fan.
Yeah.
I'm not a Gator guy. My kid's a Gator guy. And he's young. And so he would easily be the one to say, I can't believe they called that. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
He didn't even touch it. He was like floored that he did it. I mean, you can't do it. You can't do it. Again, who do you think? I asked this question. We can talk more about it probably to break here in a minute, but who do you think Gator fans are more upset at? Is it Marco Wilson? Or do you think now that the days have passed, they're still upset at Mullen? Because at the end of the day, Dan Mullen, who has done a terrific job, he's a fantastic coach. But there's a couple of things that line up with Mullen here. That whole halftime skirmish that he was a part of, the pumping up the fans. You are who your coach is sometimes. You embody your coach. And that really, now Mullen didn't throw a clipboard at anybody, didn't throw his headset at anybody, didn't throw a shoe across the field. But that same kind of fired up nature in that play, well, you can't tell me that your kid can't do it when you did it earlier in the year, something similar.
No,
and by the way, that's not my biggest beef with Mullen. The biggest beef is have your team ready to play, because that team on the other side is not good. Like LSU is not good. And you didn't have your team ready to play.
No, and that warrants criticism, absolutely. The Florida Gators were not ready to play. You can't tell me it's any differently. I'm the guy that sat here, though, a couple weeks and said, I love Dan Mullen going in the middle of the field. Now, I don't like the punches being thrown and stuff like that, but I love the fire that he showed, because it's an emotional game, man. All right? So I love the emotion. I love the grit. I love the toughness. And I'm not mad at the shoe throw. and you're not going to tell me differently, man. I love it.
In a weird way, and I know this is a little hyperbole, folks, I get it, it's a little dramatic. But in a weird way, the reason why you should have had a problem with the halftime stuff with Mullen is because of the shoe throw.
Because it amounted to something.
You know, it's. I don't think they're that related. I hesitate to say it like that.
Yeah.
But I think you can make the case they're two of the same type of reactions.
No, listen, basically you're Quentin Tarantino right now. We see the shoe throw. It's like, well, let's go back. How did we get here? How did it end like this? Well, you can look at the halftime incident and say, might have something to do with it.
Did it cost Florida a chance at a national championship, to be in the Final Four? What should everybody do? And what about the SEC and everyone piling on Ohio State and the Big Ten right now? Let's discuss it. We've got a little more college football to get to. From Urban Meyer all the way to the Florida Gators and Alabama Crimson Tide, Ohio State Buckeyes, Clemson and Notre Dame. Oof. Thank goodness they played football this college season.
Who you telling,
What
man?
would we be talking about? It's next on ESPN 690.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 11 of the defense, throwing the LSU player's shoe 20 yards down the field.
ESPN 690, SportsCenter update.
Happy Monday. I'm Jake Mitchell. Jags dropped their 12th in a row, and even two quarterbacks couldn't get it done to stop Derrick Henry, who rushed for 215 yards and 2 TDs, as the Jags tumbled to the Titans 31-10. Coach Marrone pulled Glennon for Gardner Minshew, but it didn't make any difference. No word on who will start when the Jags take on the Ravens Sunday at 1 p.m. But the Jags weren't the only ones who caught an L yesterday. The Steelers lost their second in a row, this time to the Bills, 26-15. The Eagles even found a way to beat the Saints, 24-21. And in Major League Baseball news, after 105 years, the Cleveland Indians will drop their nickname and adopt a new moniker. There isn't any word if the new name will be now or if it will change after the 2021 season. The SportsCenter update is brought to you by Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan, for the people. If you're still working from home and want to listen to ESPN, tell your smart speaker to play ESPN 690.
We should always be looking at our finances, but 2020 made my family take an even closer look, a bit more of a deeper dive, and it might have done the same for you, even into the world of retirement. Although that's a bit down the road for me, it might be closer for you, and your plan should already be under a microscope, and you have to lean on the experts to help guide the right plan. My friend Mike Lester with Talon Wealth Management is the perfect partner. He will provide a complimentary analysis and a plan for you. Call him at 904-515-5000 or visit guardingyournestegg.com. That's 904-515-5000 or guardingyournestegg.com. Mike will give you the guidance you need as retirement gets closer. He can help you convert company plans to private plans, a move that might give you higher returns and more options. You've earned the money. Now make sure you are ready for whenever retirement will be. Call Mike Lester at Talon Wealth Management, 904-515-5000. That's 904-515-5000 or visit guardingyournestegg.com.
Boss, have you heard the latest about the ding-dong doorbell cameras?
What, more employees spying on customers?
Nope.
Hackers again?
No, boss, this time they had to recall over 350,000 video doorbells.
Recall? What happened?
A bunch of them caught fire.
Whoa, unbelievable. It's one thing after another with them.
Yeah. Notice you never heard that with Safe Touch's video cameras?
Well, now you're just comparing a Bentley with a bumper car.
Exactly. I just don't understand why any homeowner wouldn't go with Safe Touch.
Yeah, their video monitoring's virtually hack-proof. Oh, and here's a bonus. Safe Touch cameras don't burst into flames.
No kidding.
It's just a good thing not everyone knows about Safe Touch, because we got to stick to the Crooks R Us golden rule. Stay away from Safe Touch houses.
Yeah, don't gotta tell me twice.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
The pizza you'll soon be eating contains more than 55 years of tradition. Donato's Pizza started in Columbus, Ohio in 1963 with a commitment to serve delicious, fresh-made premium pizza. Donato's in Jax Beach is still proud to deliver their made-to-order, edge-to-edge goodness right to your door or at their convenient pickup window. Check out their unusually wide variety of options at 904donatos.com. It's no joke when they say they have something for everyone. That's 904donatos.com. Give it a try and see what you think.
This Christmas, what do you buy for the golfer in your life? Cheap rounds and lots of them. That's what you'll get with a Dream 18 golf card. 8 rounds of golf for less than $12 per round, plus card fees. At great area golf courses like St. John's Golf and Country Club, Amelia River Golf Club, and Eagle Landing Golf Club. And this isn't just a golf card. You get a free shirt from Baker Sports, a free dome hat, a free smoothie from Smoothie King, plus 15% off any purchase at Palm Beach Autographs. Go to ESPN690.com to purchase the Dream 18 card for just $95. It's the perfect gift just in time for the holidays.
The ultimate Christmas tradition is heading home for the holidays. Don't miss Moscow Ballet's digital stream premiere of The Great Russian Nutcracker, Saturday, December 19th. Enjoy the full-length performance of Moscow Ballet's Great Russian Nutcracker as captured on stage. Save 15% on tickets today with promo code HEART. That's HEART at moscowballet.com. Get up close with online meet and greets and party packages at moscowballet.com.
Eggnog in the carpet, wine on the sofa, dingy-looking tile and grout? No problem. Call Zero Res. Zero Res technicians are cleaning freaks. Over 2,600 Google reviews with a 4.9 stars. Zero Res spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Nearly 250,000 men and women in the U.S. will be diagnosed with breast cancer this year.
Breast cancer is unacceptable.
Visit Komen.org/unacceptable.
I'm Dr. Baker, an ER physician.
If you're having leg pain, swelling, or redness, but haven't talked to your doctor yet, don't wait. This could be deep vein thrombosis, a blood clot which could travel to your lungs and lead to a pulmonary embolism, which could cause chest pain or discomfort or difficulty breathing and be deadly. Your symptoms could mean something serious, so don't wait. Talk to a doctor right away, by phone, online, or in person.
Brought to you by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Austin Lane from Action Sports Jackson, ESPN 690. Social distancing doesn't mean disconnecting. If you're working from home, keep tabs on the world of sports and Action Sports Jacks on your smart speaker. Tell your Amazon Echo or Google Home, play ESPN 690.
Oh, that really hurt. I'm gonna have a lump there, you idiot. Who throws a shoe? Honestly.
That, of course, Austin Powers. Yep. Austin Powers hasn't had this many hits on that movie.
It's been a long time, man.
But that was the movie click of the week, most likely, right?
Hands down. I mean, every GIF, every meme had to deal with that Austin Powers
I think
segment.
I saw a quote from Ed Orgeron today. He said, it's funny, all I'm doing is asking for shoes for Christmas now or something. It's like
trolling a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the part of piling on a college player like that, even from a coaching standpoint. Like, I get it. It's fandom, it's rivalry, and now you got to live with that. You kind of enter the arena, right? We always talk about it. Yeah. That's the way the world is now. But there's still a part of me. There's a soft part of me that feels bad for, like, Marco Wilson has to deal with all that, you know. And it's a player going to live in infamy, and that's what sports is. Again, you got to have courage to enter the arena because you can be the star, but you can be the GOAT, and you can be talked about for 40, 50 years, good and bad.
Yeah. I mean, listen, don't enter the arena and then throw your opponent's sword in the crowd. You know, like, there's some respect there. But listen, and I'm gonna die on this hill, and I understand I'm gonna die on this hill, and I'm sure if I put it on Twitter, people will come after me, and that's fine. I don't got a problem with it. I don't think it should have been a penalty. I like it, man. I get it. Psychological warfare. And you know what? Like, listen, I don't want to be over dramatic or anything like that. But in that moment, watching that LSU player walk to get his shoe, however far that guy threw it, maybe 15 yards, maybe 20 yards, whatever the case may be, watching that opponent, that rival, walk to get his shoe that you just threw almost feels as good as a win. Almost feels as rewarding as maybe going to a BCS title game. Okay? I'm telling you right now, Brent. I'm telling you right now.
I don't think so.
Brent, listen, man. You just don't know this one. Okay?
I don't know this one. You told me in the break, you said when you threw that helmet, that guy had to go walk and pick it up.
Dude, I was Ichiro Suzuki coming from right field, crow hopped and everything to home plate. I'm telling you, man. It's such a, I can't even put it into words, but it's such a cool feeling to see.
Hey, you could hear the Florida State basketball game and football game over the weekend right here on ESPN 690. Just got a couple of things in. We're going to update Keyontae Johnson in a moment, too, because we got a new update in the last 20 minutes. But Mackenzie Milton, you saw that story this weekend. Former UCF quarterback, obviously a gruesome injury, has come back and wants to play again and is ready to play again and give it a go. And you saw, if you didn't see, he is transferring to Florida State. And that has become official. Florida State just announced that he has signed and will play at Florida State. He'll enroll in January and be eligible to play immediately in 2021. So big football story for Mike Norvell. You know, that could be a heck of a turn, help them turn around the program if he's still got something. I think it's an if. I don't know what you know about Mackenzie Milton at this point. I think that's a hard thing. But if he's ready to go, and if he has some of that skill set that we saw at UCF, I think that's a great fit for Mike Norvell, that style of play. So interesting thing to talk about with Florida State football as it moves forward, coming off a nice win, by the way, on Saturday. We'll send you to break with this update, and we'll talk a little bit more about the national championship landscape. I want to get back into Urban Meyer for a bit, too. But I want to keep updating you on Keyontae Johnson, and this in from University of Florida. Keyontae Johnson has been successfully transferred as planned from Tallahassee Memorial to UF Health in Gainesville by Shands Care. He continues in critical but stable condition, is following simple commands and undergoing further tests. So if there was a medically induced coma, that makes it seem like he's out of the medically induced coma. Remember, the report earlier was from USA Today, and his grandfather said he was in a medically induced coma. but they are now saying he's following simple commands, at least in this, from Florida. So
that's positive.
Positive, but he remains in critical, stable condition. He's been in that condition since, I think, Saturday afternoon when we first got the word from Florida on a condition.
Yeah.
That hasn't changed. So I still think there's a lot of concern. I think the positive news here is he's following simple commands and undergoing further tests. So that's the latest from Florida.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we're all looking for right now. So,
all right, so that's the latest on Keyontae Johnson. We continue to update you on that and think about that young man, Florida Gators basketball player, and a really good talent as well, battling right now in Gainesville. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit more college football. The playoff landscape. Wow, it's an interesting one. The lobbying is happening between conferences. Where do you sit on this topic? And there's a bunch of different topics weaved into here. And then also Urban Meyer and the Jacksonville Jaguars. We talked a lot about it earlier in the show. I'll bring it back up and add a thing or two on Urban Meyer and just the rumor mill with the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's coming up on ESPN 690 here on a Monday. Thanks for hanging with us on ESPN 690.
Worthless warranties, slimy salespeople, shady subcontractors. It's no wonder people don't trust most roofing companies. At All Pro Roofing and Consulting LLC, we didn't trust them either. That's why we started our own roofing company. With more than 25 years of experience, we offer industry-leading warranties, simple, fair financing, and no subcontractors. Residential, commercial, even multifamily properties. At All Pro Roofing and Consulting, we've got you covered. Learn more at allproroofingllc.com.
When it comes to buying your next ride, everybody wants to save big. Well, you can with my friends at Arlington Toyota. Right now, they're having their 50% off pre-owned event. You heard right. You can save thousands when you pay up to 50% less MSRP on pre-owned at Arlington. And Arlington's got over 400 vehicles ready for you to choose from. You want to save on a Corolla? Get to Arlington where you can buy a pre-owned 2020 Corolla LE for just $11,991. And everybody loves Camrys. And with up to 50% less, you can get a pre-owned 2020 Camry SE from just $17,991. Now, if you love the RAV4, then get one and save big at Arlington, where a pre-owned 2020 RAV4 XLE can be yours from just $19,991. Leave it to the #1 volume Toyota dealer in Northeast Florida to also give you a 30-day exchange policy with your purchase. That's 30 days to love it or exchange it. It's the 50% off pre-owned event happening right now at Arlington Toyota, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, or online anytime at arlingtontoyota.com. Visit arlingtontoyota/50off for full offer details.
It's time for some straight talk. Look, we all drop our phones. It happens. You fumble it, crack it, splash it. Well, Straight Talk Wireless now offers this new Platinum Unlimited plan that includes phone protection. Just $65 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data, plus 20 gigs of hotspot, 100 gigs of cloud storage, and more. All on the best network. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. See Mobile Protect terms and conditions at Asurion.com/Straight Talk. Limitations and exclusions apply.
Getting to work is a little different. If your commute has changed, you could be saving money. With pay-per-mile car insurance from Allstate, you only pay for the miles you drive. Drive less, save 50% with pay-per-mile insurance. You've never been in better hands. Visit Allstate.com or call an agent for a quote today.
Pricing varies based on how you buy, driving behaviors, and includes a daily rate. Not applicable in California. Based on annual premium paid by Allstate Standard Auto customers versus Allstate pay-per-mile customers who drive an average of 4,000 miles a year. Savings vary subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and its affiliates. Copyright 2020 Allstate Insurance Company.
Appliances may work on your schedule, but they quit on theirs. At Atlantic Coast Appliance, we'll get your appliances back up and running in no time at all. Our factory-trained and certified technicians have repaired more than 100,000 appliances over the past 35 years, servicing Jacksonville to St. Augustine and Ponte Vedra with a 90-day warranty on parts and labor, plus a 100% satisfaction guarantee. When your appliances quit, we're ready to get started. For quality repair at a price that's fair, visit AtlanticCoastAppliance.com.
The First Coast is booming. With interest rates at historic lows, there has never been a better time to call Brandon Ponsel and his network of local experts at Jags Coastal Homes. You can visit them at jagscoastalhomes.com or call them today at 904-206-9480 and mention ESPN 690 to receive up to $2,500 towards your closing cost. Need to sell? Powered by the unparalleled technology of EXP, Brandon will guarantee the sale of your home in under 60 days, or he'll sell it for free. The First Coast market is on the move. Are you?
After a car accident, you can feel like you've lost control. I'm Mark Anajar from the law offices of Anajar & Levine. After the crash, call the police and document the scene by taking photos of all the vehicles involved. If you were injured, get medical attention as soon as possible. If you've been involved in a car accident, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000 for a free consultation. And take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
Keyontae Johnson told USA Today he's in a medically induced coma after collapsing during Saturday's game against Florida State. The cause of the collapse, unknown at this time. Johnson was a projected first-round pick in the 2021 NBA draft. Eagles rookie quarterback Jalen Hurts will start for the second straight week over Carson Wentz. Coach Doug Peterson announcing Hurts starts Sunday against the Cardinals. Hurts in the win over the Saints provided the spark the team had been looking for offensively, points out ESPN's Dan Orlovsky.
He played really decisive football. And for a kid to have that opportunity and to go and that be the defining name that comes out of that game yesterday for him, or the style of play that he had, was a really good sign. And so definitely some growth has to happen with the passing game for him, but it looked like a completely different offense with him at the helm.
Dan Orlovsky on Greeny with Mike Greenberg. Sam Darnold told reporters today he hopes to remain the Jets' long-term quarterback. Oregon will replace Washington in Friday's Pac-12 championship game against USC because of the Huskies' coronavirus issues.
I'm telling you, Baker Mayfield will have a huge performance on Monday Night Football and push the Browns to even a higher position in my real ranking. So how high will they rank? Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin, Tuesday, 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station. Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. This is Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
Love my teammates. Appreciate those guys every day for what they do. The unselfishness that they have, for me. Truly blessed to have the teammates and the team that I have. Coach Vrabel was just trying to, look out for me. Just so I didn't take no extra shots. Body feels good, so just love my teammates. Just happy to play great team football. I'm actually going to do my job, and we just wanted to play well as an offense, put some drives together, get in the end zone, and I feel like all of us as a team and as an offense, I didn't try to do that.
You got it? You know who it is?
Was he a Titans player? I'm either going AJ Brown or Derrick Henry. Give me Derrick Henry.
Good guess. Good guess.
No, it wasn't a guess. It was a skilled observation.
Very good. Derrick Henry it was. Derrick Henry, 215. Yeah, it didn't feel like as dynamic as 215.
Yeah,
maybe because it was a sleepy game and
nobody got memed. Yeah,
nobody got memed.
Yeah.
I guess practicing against a stiff arm, though, doesn't get you on highlights, but still doesn't stop anybody.
Yeah.
They had like 8 men in the box the whole game, and they still couldn't stop him from running 215.
Listen, I'm sure you heard this. I opened the show with it. There's nothing more that defeats you as a player when you know what the opponent's trying to do and you can't stop it. I saw a Jaguars team that stacked the box the entire game that said, all right, let's stop Derrick Henry, and you couldn't stop him.
Yeah,
that's
unbelievable.
That's demoralizing.
He has 4 of them now, more than Jim Brown, more than LaDainian Tomlinson, more than Barry Sanders. Most in NFL history, 4 200-yard games.
Yeah,
I did this the other. I think. Let me make sure I got the numbers right. I think it was the first 43 games of his career in the NFL, 2 100-yard games.
Yeah.
In the last 18 games, he's had 13 100-yard plus games, including a few 200-yarders.
Yeah.
Just think about that. I think people forget about that part of the story on Derrick. They were about to give up on him in Tennessee. They were, I think, even trying to trade him. I think he was on the trade block.
There was that rumor, I remember.
And so he didn't do a whole lot, and they stuck with him. Did they get lucky with that? Maybe. Did they bring Tannehill and the offense changed a bit, and that's Arthur Smith a little bit? Probably. So we're going to talk a little bit about some of these offenses and how it relates to maybe what the Jaguars could be looking for in a bit. I want to but at least talk more about the college stuff right now because I think it's fascinating. The Gators obviously slipped big time. And
Trask is done, you'd say?
Oh, no.
For the Heisman?
No.
Okay.
No. I don't think.
Okay.
See, Kyle Trask, I didn't think Kyle Trask lost the Heisman Saturday night.
Okay.
No, I mean, he didn't look great. His numbers still at the end of the day are going to come out strong. 474 yards, 4 touchdowns, but the 3 turnovers. And it didn't look good, and the loss doesn't help him. But I don't know if he lost much ground. Mac Jones, I mean, threw no touchdowns, 200 yards, no touchdowns accounted for, and he had to catch up in the touchdown category because let's be honest, it's a stat award a little bit. And Kyle Trask, if you go back even to the Tennessee game, didn't look great all the time. So people aren't paying attention to that. They're not going to just sit there and say, well, it didn't look that good. They're going to look at numbers. Voters are lazy in most things. They're going to look at numbers. Well, they are.
I hear you, but and maybe it's a cause-effect argument, but you get the sense that usually when you win the Heisman Trophy, it's because you're a top 5 team in the country. It's because you don't lose 2 games in a season, at least maybe 3 games in a season. That has something to do with it as well.
Yeah, it does, but it doesn't automatically. And so, yeah, they could lose 3. Again, I believe this game is going to decide the Heisman.
Okay.
So my point being, I don't think he lost. If Florida beats Alabama and Kyle Trask throws for 4 touchdowns and 400 yards, you're going to come in Monday and be like, I think he got it.
I probably
that's why he didn't lose it.
Yeah.
That's my point.
Yeah.
Nobody could lose the Heisman last week.
Yeah.
You could stamp it more if you're Trask. You could separate yourself. What Trask did not do is separate himself. He starts bringing into the conversation, okay, what if Mac Jones has a heck of a game and really looks better overall? Then you got that. What if Devontae Smith has one of his games and does his thing? So, and then I still don't believe a Fields or a Lawrence are even in this thing. I don't even think Zach Wilson's actually kind of cooled down, even the tone of that. And he was in action the other night, but it was like, okay, nothing crazy.
Well, and listen, you don't have. I mean, it is a stat-driven award. I agree with you on that, but they don't have enough games to really monitor that.
Don't.
So you can't. No.
It's still Trask, Mac Jones, and if somebody wants to. If they're a little torn on, all right, are we just getting caught up in numbers? Is Mac Jones not giving us enough numbers? Does Mac Jones have all these other great players around him? Then Devontae Smith could come into play. Devontae Smith, you could argue, is the best player in the country.
See, I get what you're saying, but the only problem I have with Devontae Smith is the fact that when the season started, he wasn't even the best receiver on the field. I would say Jalen Waddle was.
Well, you didn't think he was the best.
Well, I mean,
we didn't think he was the best.
best.
But I think what he's done is he's proven he's the best.
No, sure.
And by the way,
listen,
we also didn't think Kyle Trask or Mac Jones were going to win the Heisman Trophy.
True. But right now, he's the best offensive player probably in the country, a skill position at least in the country. So I'm not taking that away from him. But I'm saying if Jalen Waddle was out there, would we even be talking about
probably
Smith
not to this
right
extent.
Now?
But see, I think that's more impressive.
Yeah.
Your other guy goes down, and you now have more attention on you, and look what you've done. And again, they are very talented elsewhere, too. That's fair. But he has actually had more on his plate, and he's delivered.
Yeah.
I mean, he's made some big-time plays. You talk about Heisman moments now. This guy's had some, like that awesome catch a couple weeks ago. You know, he had a punt return. He didn't do anything. See, you can tell Nick Saban doesn't care about that Heisman, does he? I mean, he had 2 catches. You know, it was a very interesting game. This is my view on this, okay?
Yeah.
And we're going to get whatever storylines we're going to get.
And by the way, you get the sense that Dan Mullen cares about the Heisman big time.
Oh, I firmly believe he cares about it. Yes. I think Mullen is interesting. Mullen gives up 600 yards, and he comes out and says that was on the offense. Well, he's an offensive-minded coach, so I was like, okay, that's fair enough. But stop it, Dan. Start paying attention to the rest of everything. Correct. Your defense hasn't improved at all. They gave up 600 the first couple of weeks, too, to whoever. And now they're still giving up 600 to a freshman quarterback. Fix the defense, Dan. Stop worrying about all these numbers and Heisman trophies and scoring 60 points. And listen, that's you. That's part of it, too. You got to do it. Yeah. But he's got to lambaste that defense because you know what's going to win him the game Saturday is the defense. They're both going to score. But the only way Florida outscores Alabama is that defense starts stepping up and does something. Because Alabama's defense will step up a little bit. Heck, LSU's defense stepped up. Yep. So you know Alabama's will. So it's an interesting deal. But here's what else between the two coaches. Saban plays Mac Jones. Gives it to Najee Harris a bunch. Throws for 200 yards. Devontae Smith. Now, listen, some people, if you looked at it, they dropped 8 guys in that game. And so they took him out of the game a little bit, too, by doing that. And then Mac Jones kind of took what they gave him. And they ran the ball with Harris again. But I kind of looked at it as I almost feel like they played, but they weren't exposing them to injury much.
Sure.
Meanwhile, in Gainesville, Kyle Pitts doesn't play, which kind of looked like, is he just resting him?
Mm-hmm.
And they lost. So I'm just looking at the view from the outside, and I'm saying, okay, well, it didn't look like Saban really put those guys in spots to. Now, keep in mind, too, Devontae Smith, he had his leg twisted, which was bad sportsmanship.
Yeah.
But I think he didn't want to put those guys in that much of a position to get banged up. He needs them the rest of the way. Whereas Mullen kind of appeared like he just rested Pitts.
Yeah, we're all good. We'll see you in the championship game. Oh, never mind. I mean, we'll see you there, but still.
Really interesting. So anyway, well, one last thought on this. Does Florida get in if they beat Alabama? They now have 2 losses.
Absolutely not.
Not?
Absolutely not.
Really?
Alabama's in. Enough said. Alabama is in. I mean, unless Florida comes out and curb stomps the Alabama Crimson Tide, which, by the way, I don't think is going to ever happen.
Yeah.
There's no way.
So Alabama gets in over Florida, or Alabama gets in over Ohio State, and Florida gets in as well.
No, Florida has no chance. Florida has blown their opportunity because they lost to the LSU Tigers at home. The LSU Tigers were not a good team this year. The record indicates that. Their performances indicate that. There is nothing that Florida can do set aside from beating Alabama by 80 where that's going to get them in the college football playoff. And I'll say this right now, and once again, with all due respect to our Florida Gator listeners out there, if Florida beats Alabama, and let's say they do it pretty decisively, maybe it's by 20-something. If Florida beats Alabama and they get in the college football playoff, and like Cincinnati doesn't, I'm going to lose it. I'm gonna lose my marbles.
See, I disagree with that. I think Florida has a very good chance to get in if they win. What's the beef for me? See, I think Ohio State then is in trouble.
Well,
but I think the beef is more Texas A&M. Texas A&M beat Florida, but has 1 loss.
Yeah.
So Florida A&M sitting over there like, but couldn't Florida do the same? Florida's like, well, wait a minute. We got a 3-point loss and a 3-point loss, and we beat Alabama, but they're going in ahead of us?
Listen, I'm just saying you lost to LSU. And end of story, you lost to a freshman quarterback. You lost to a team that is on the bottom tier of the SEC this year. You're not going to the playoff. And if I'm Texas A&M and that happens, I'm riding, man. Like I'm protesting. I'm calling collusion. I'm saying stop the count, whatever. Like we're doing a lot of things because once again, there's no way that Florida's going to go to the college football playoff. You just can't do it when you lose to LSU. You can't do it.
Man, I just don't know if I buy it. I'm intrigued. I think a lot of other things have to happen. I mean, Ohio State's going to win, but I think Ohio State could then be in trouble.
Time out then. Let's say Northwestern beats Ohio State. Can Northwestern go to the college football playoff then?
Northwestern's undefeated?
Nope, they lost to Michigan State. Mel Tucker.
Yeah.
In terms of identity, the most unidentical or whatever. They have no identity. Because sometimes they beat the big guys, sometimes they lose big time.
I would say no.
Really? So then how can you justify that, Brent Marrone?
It's a fair question.
How can you justify that then?
Well,
you beat Ohio State.
So that segues into this next, which I'm not a big fan of this argument, to be honest with you, because let's just say it holds serve. Okay, I'm going to give you now a different one. This is what's fun about college football. You have all these scenarios. Is Clemson Notre Dame a close game? What if Notre Dame beats Clemson? Are they out now because they lost twice to Notre Dame and they have 2 losses?
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
What if Clemson does beat Notre Dame but they hammer Notre Dame this time around? Does Notre Dame earn a chance because they beat Clemson earlier in the year? Like these are significant questions. And then there's the question of, did you play enough games? And it's interesting. The eye test to me says Ohio State's one of the best teams in the country right now.
Mm-hmm.
If it holds serve, let's just say Clemson beats Notre Dame, but it's a close game. So I think both those get in.
Correct.
And then I think Alabama beats Florida. So Alabama gets in.
Mm-hmm.
And then I say Ohio State. So basically you're saying Ohio State wins. Does Ohio State get in? Or does USC get in? Or does, like, Texas A&M get in? Because their only losses to Alabama, and they played more games. So, see, we have a lot of politicking going on right now with the conferences. ACC and SEC are like, well, it's your fault you didn't play a lot of games. You screwed it up. You didn't play. We played more games. I believe in the scenario I just presented, the eye test wins the day for me. 6 wins is enough for me. A Big Ten championship is enough for me, and I think Ohio State gets in.
Without a doubt, hands down, because right now...
Without a doubt, I don't know.
Without a doubt. And here's why.
I like that you're not sitting on the fence on this.
No, I'm very adamant of how I feel about this whole situation right now. You're welcome. Listen, Ohio State can beat Northwestern by a field goal at the end, and Ohio State's still going to the college football playoff. Do you know why? Because the rankings have them at number 4 right now. And you can't just fall out the rankings if you win a game. So, for instance, Ohio State wins a sloppy game against Northwestern. It'll probably be it'll be a brouhaha. It'll be a Pier 6 brawl. It's not going to be a close game, I don't think. But let's say, for the sake of the argument, it's a close game. Ohio State just squeaks by. Well, they're number 4 right now. There's no way in my eyes that Texas A&M can move up, because do you know why? They're done.
Yeah, boy.
So how are they going to move up? So unless you want to say these rankings don't mean anything during the season, unless you want to say that it's a kangaroo court and it's a Thunderdome, then put Ohio State outside the playoff. And listen, I don't like Ohio State. I'm a Wisconsin guy. Why would I cheer for Ohio State to go on there? But I'm just saying.
Big Ten?
Well, I'm not like that. It ain't like SEC country where it's like, well, if you're a Vanderbilt fan, yeah, SEC, baby. Yeah, they're national championship. Let's go Vanderbilt. Like, no, man. Don't cheer for the teams that beat you. I'm not going to cheer for Ohio State, but I'm just saying, from a conscientious observer, I think they deserve to go.
Yeah, that's why I like when we talk college football, because we don't really have too much of a dog in the fight. Wisconsin's not in the fight enough for you.
There was never a fight for Wisconsin this season.
Here's the other thing I think this stuff's silly. And I think the politicking, like Dabo talking about the games.
Yeah.
We're talking about Dabo Swinney and Dan Mullen, who kind of did it a little bit. I think it was prior to the game, and probably will do it more, if they win.
Yeah.
We'll do it a lot more, by the way, if they win. We're talking about those two guys who, by the way, were a little bit tone deaf when it came to COVID-19 to begin with this year, right?
Just a smidge.
And now Greg Sankey, who I think, while it's admirable you played all your games, is now second-guessing himself because Florida lost. That's the reality of it. He's second-guessing whether he should have done what ACC did. Because what was the value? What was to gain when the championship game was already set? And, okay, everybody wants to play your games. That's fine. I can appreciate that. There's also money involved. I can appreciate that. But you took the risk. And now you can't go to they only played 6 games card. I think we knew this season was going to be challenging. Sure, the Big Ten screwed it up a couple of times. That was the presidents and everybody else. That's not the players' fault, it's the coach's fault. They played as much as they could play. And I still believe, like, if Ohio State played Florida, I'd put my money on Ohio State right now. I would. And I think Florida's good. But I'd put my money on Ohio State. So
and keep in
that's
mind,
where the eye test is supposed to come in. That's where this committee is supposed to be able to say, hey, I think this team's better. I think they've earned it. And you've got to be a significant difference. You've got to be Coastal Carolina, Cincinnati undefeated to say, well, I don't know. I mean, listen, they have a great season. But I just don't think they can match up with this team. It doesn't make sense that they can match up with this team.
Yeah.
And we don't have that case with Ohio State. And we might not, by the way. USC maybe should enter this conversation. They've been as exciting as anyone, in the college football this year.
Yeah.
So maybe they should be considered as well. I think Texas A&M is a tough deal, man, when you're in the SEC West and you got to play Alabama. I'm sorry, but that's what happens.
Yeah, I mean, it's part of the show. It's part of the SEC, if you will. And listen, Texas A&M, they're not going to get in, okay? Like, the way it sits right now, it's going to be Alabama, regardless what happens against Florida. It's going to more than likely be Notre Dame, I think, regardless what happens against Clemson.
Wow, they can't get
beat by
hammered.
40. Yeah. It's going to be Clemson, I feel, because I think Clemson wins the game against Notre Dame. And it's going to be Ohio State. So Florida's on the outside, A&M's on the outside, and that's just the way it is. And listen, despite how you feel about the whole 5-0 right now, and they're going to play their 6th game for the championship game, it's also a way to generate revenue, right? And the college football playoff, they're not stupid. Justin Fields, that's going to sell.
Yes.
Okay? He's a quarterback. Everyone's talking about him. That sells. And also, I think sometimes you kind of need that bad guy a little bit being, well, listen, these guys have only played 6 games. They're in the playoff. Like, people are going to be rooting against them, but they're going to be watching them. You're going to watch them to win and watch them to lose. You need that adversity a little bit. You kind of need that villain. And I think Ohio State can be a villain.
My belief always has been in college football, it's a good old boy network that exists under the underbelly of it.
Yeah.
And I think Ohio State is a big player in that. I think the SEC is a big player in that. I think Ohio State's a big player in that and has been. And if you look at some of the things that have happened where Ohio State got in, remember the one year when they were on the outside looking in, everybody's like, well, I can't. And then they won the national title, remember, early on?
Yeah.
Well, I think Ohio State benefits from some of that. I think the real debate should be and could be USC and Ohio State. How do they look in these games? Because I know the Pac-12's down, but come on, the Big Ten shook out to not be much anyway. Yeah. At the end, Penn State was nothing, right? Michigan was terrible. I mean, Indiana was your next best team.
Yeah. Listen, if I'm the commissioner right now, it's the commissioner I kind of established. I mean, it's like a whole network thing that established.
The College Football Playoff Committee, yeah.
So if I'm the committee, right, and all the championship games play out, and they announce it on Monday or Tuesday, it's going to be a big thing. I understand that. Is it Monday they would do that, or Tuesday?
Well, they're due. That's a good call. They've been doing it on Tuesday, but they usually do it on the Sunday after the final games.
Yeah,
so I think this one will come out
Maybe
on Sunday.
Okay, so if I'm that guy, and Sunday I'm getting ready to go to the podium and say, all right, these teams are going to playoff. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have a giant, check this out.
I'm going to have,
yes, thank you very much. And no, but here's the thing. I'm going to have a giant whiteboard that's going to be covered up, all right? And I'm going to come out and say, listen, guys, it's been a rough season this year for college football, for all sports in general. You know, with COVID-19, we thought we wouldn't be here right now, but we're here. And we understand that, 2020, it's been a tough time for everybody in terms of their jobs, in terms of sickness, and this is our gift to you guys. And I slowly start to pull back that curtain, bro.
18 playoffs.
And all of a sudden, the whole Bulls, it starts playing a little bit. All of a sudden, smoke machine, the lights, everything like that. You pull back the curtain, 8 teams, man. And I'm going to say, R.I.P. Kobe Bryant, and I mic drop, and I'm out for the 8. Say, hey, Black Mamba, we miss you. Mic drop, 8 teams, boom. There's Cincinnati. There's Iowa State. Maybe Florida gets in. A&M, let's go. How cool would that be?
That would be great.
How awesome would that be?
The good old boy network of college football ain't that creative.
I know, man. But, listen, when we celebrated Coastal Carolina and that BYU game, the only time we've ever celebrated BYU and Coastal Carolina in anything was because
they did win the World Series, okay?
That's a good call. That's a good call, yeah. A good call. But, we celebrated that. Imagine if you had the 8-team playoff out of nowhere. Man.
That would be awesome. What a Christmas present that would be.
I know, right?
Hey, we have Seth hanging on. Let's get to Seth. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. What's happening, man? Talk a little college football.
Yeah, I was actually you guys ended up hitting a lot of my points. But the thing I was also going to say, kind of touching on the playoff selection, is just that, with the matchups that you would have anyways, I think just the general consensus in terms of what's going to draw the most or highest ratings would not be, a potential rematch, at least, of Alabama and Texas A&M. They already lost by 28. And then you're already likely going to see Clemson and Notre Dame both get in. I doubt they seed them, 2 and 3. So I guess part of my take, or what I wanted to say, is one, I just think, to Austin's point, Texas A&M, there's no way they get in, especially with such a glaringly bad loss to Alabama. But two, I think even if Ohio State wins, they're not going to just get in. They're going to be at least a 3 seed because they're not going to match up Clemson and Notre Dame after they just played each other right away. What do you guys think?
Yeah, that's a good point. And they'll probably leapfrog whoever because one of those teams will have lost and sitting in the 4 hole. So really good point,
It
Seth.
almost works out so perfectly.
What's interesting, it usually does work out. I think people are going to have some beefs. Now, listen, Florida's probably going to lose. So then they'll have 3 losses. So they're not in it, whatever.
Yeah.
But Texas A&M has a beef. USC will have a beef against Ohio State. They don't have a beef against anybody else, but they'll have a beef against Ohio State.
Yeah.
They have been actually more impressive, I think, than Ohio State.
Ooh.
They're more entertaining, let's say that.
Well, yeah, there's been a couple nail-biters, though, with USC.
Yeah, but
Seems
they've
like
come
every
back.
single game's a nail-biter.
But listen, Ohio State and so many of these teams, that's what I said about, you can say you played the all-SEC schedule, but there were 3 games on your schedule that were probably competitive.
Yeah.
And so I think that's what shows me, the moxie of a team. I learn about a team that comes back and wins and finds ways to win. I don't know the moxie of Ohio State. They're good, and they keep rolling over people they play. That's it.
Yeah. I'm just saying, man, give me that 8. I want that 8 playoff team, bro. I do.
I know.
And listen, I want Florida out. I want Coastal Carolina in. And let's see what Coastal Carolina's got. You guys feel like the big boys? You want to want the big dogs? Play Alabama and see what happens.
You're hating on Florida.
We'll 2
talk.
losses right now.
Does Florida have a chance? We'll talk about it later on in the week. Florida and Alabama in the SEC championship game on Saturday. Talk a little luster off this game, but also in a weird way adds more intrigue, I think. Hey, this just in from the SEC. Vanderbilt, Georgia canceled this week, so their seasons are over. Vanderbilt does not have enough scholarship players to meet the minimum requirements. They will not play. Georgia finishes on a high note. Why didn't you play JT Daniels earlier? He must not have been healthy, but golly. And looking at 2021 now, Georgia's got a quarterback again.
Yeah.
At least they have that if he comes back, which everybody assumes he will. All right, back to Urban Meyer. back to the Jags. And what kind of offense should the Jags be in 2021? I got a little poll question out there, and where do they fit? That's the question next on ESPN 690.
Action Sports Jax with Brent Martineau on ESPN 690 is brought to you by Best Bet Jacksonville and Orange Park.
Now, the first alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Variable cloudiness, a few brief showers will be ending and turning cooler overnight tonight as temperatures drop into the upper 40s. Partly cloudy, cooler Tuesday and a little bit breezy with an isolated shower, a high of 66, and increasing cloudiness with scattered showers developing Wednesday. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm Action News Jax Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. Just in time for the holidays. Save up to 40% on everything store-wide at Beard's Diamonds.
No matter what you are driving, you can step up to luxury now at any of the Fields Auto Group dealerships in Jacksonville. Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Yes, it's luxury for less at all Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. Plus, you'll also be part of their exclusive Fields Amenities program, where you will get complimentary loaners, car washes, and cafes. So whatever you're driving, see Fields first and step up to luxury for less during this amazing opportunity. Visit fieldsauto.com.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At Lloyd's Construction and Consulting, we've been celebrating 10 years in business. Over the years, we've constructed thousands of projects in the Northeast Florida region. For commercial to residential, we handle each project with the respect and care it deserves. We look forward to speaking with you about your next construction project. Find out more at lloydsconstruction.net.
Alexa, how do I drive more customers into my business?
First, people will need to hear about you.
Okay.
Then you need to be online where they look for you.
Online, huh?
Then you need to be involved in the community. Then you need to...
Whoa. I don't have time for all that. I need to run my business. Alexa, can you help me find someone that can help me with online marketing?
Okay, searching for a local team that can help.
Local Solutions, your local marketing team putting you at the top of mind. Visit JacksonvilleLocalSolutions.com today and let us take your business to the next level so you can get back to running it. Local Solutions, powered by Cox Media Group. Marketing solved.
Nothing is certain except death and taxes. And your appliance is breaking down as soon as they're out of warranty. At Atlantic Coast Appliance, we can't help with the first two, but we've got the third one covered. Our factory-trained and certified technicians have been repairing appliances for more than 35 years, with a 90-day warranty on parts and labor and a 100% satisfaction guarantee. For quality repair at a price that's fair, trust Atlantic Coast Appliance. AtlanticCoastAppliance.com. That's AtlanticCoastAppliance.com.
Worthless warranties, slimy salespeople, shady subcontractors. It's no wonder people don't trust most roofing companies. At All Pro Roofing and Consulting LLC, we didn't trust them either. That's why we started our own roofing company. With more than 25 years of experience, we offer industry-leading warranties, simple, fair financing, and no subcontractors. Residential, commercial, even multifamily properties. At All Pro Roofing and Consulting, we've got you covered. Learn more at allproroofingllc.com.
The First Coast is booming. With interest rates at historic lows, there has never been a better time to call Brandon Ponsel and his network of local experts at Jags Coastal Homes. You can visit them at jagscoastalhomes.com or call them today at 904-206-9480 and mention ESPN 690 to receive up to $2,500 towards your closing cost. Need to sell? Powered by the unparalleled technology of EXP, Brandon will guarantee the sale of your home in under 60 days, or he'll sell it for free. The First Coast market is on the move. Are you?
The pizza you'll soon be eating contains more than 55 years of tradition. Donato's Pizza started in Columbus, Ohio in 1963 with a commitment to serve delicious, fresh-made premium pizza. Donato's in Jax Beach is still proud to deliver their made-to-order, edge-to-edge goodness right to your door or at their convenient pickup window. Check out their unusually wide variety of options at 904donatos.com. It's no joke when they say they have something for everyone. That's 904donatos.com. Give it a try and see what you think.
Guys, happy holidays from Prime Men's Medical Center. This has been a trying year, so we want to help you enjoy the holiday season. Suffering from ED or PE? Has Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra let you down? The physicians at Prime Men's Medical Center can have you lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer in the bedroom. See results on first visit guaranteed or consultation is free. Call 904-206-8105 now and start the new year off with a bang. Call Prime Men's Medical Center, 904-206-8105.
If you haven't been to Toyotathon at Arlington yet, what are you waiting for? Now's the time. Don't wait, because Toyotathon is definitely on, but it's going fast at Arlington. Give yourself the gift of a new Toyota this holiday season with Arlington's low lease deals that give Toyotathon its name. Want to know just how good the Toyotathon savings are? How about a new 2021 Tacoma SR5 double cab V6 lease for just $249 a month? Or get behind the wheel of a new 2021 4Runner SR5 and lease it for a low $369 a month. And with every new vehicle purchase from Arlington, you get a lifetime warranty with unlimited time and miles. Plus, you can buy with total peace of mind thanks to Arlington's 30-day exchange policy. That's 30 days to love it or exchange it. Toyotathon is on at Arlington, so don't wait. Shop safely in person at 10939 Atlantic Boulevard or online at arlingtontoyota.com. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/Toyotathon for full details.
After a year like no other, she deserves something truly special. And Diamonds Direct is here to help with our best holiday offer ever. 48 months, 0 interest financing on any purchase. So you can get her that diamond ring, pair of diamond earrings, or diamond eternity band and spread your payments over 4 years without paying a dime in interest. In fact, everything's included. All bracelets, all pendants, all new designer jewelry, all colored gemstone jewelry, even our designer engagement rings. Diamonds Direct makes it easy to splurge with this first-time ever holiday offer. And as always, your safety and your convenience are top priorities. You can shop in our showroom with confidence or video chat with us online at diamondsdirect.com and even arrange for curbside pickup. If we've learned anything this year, it's that our loved ones and our relationships are what matter most. So make her holiday the best ever with a gift that's romantic, timeless, and sentimental. And remember, with any purchase, you can take advantage of 4 years 0 interest financing. Diamonds Direct.
Off Town Center Parkway, just left of the Hyatt.
Hi, it's Brian Kilmeade for Phil Aiken Home Team Keller Williams Realty. I'm talking with Greg and Gary about their recent home sale. Why did you call Phil Aiken?
We called Phil Aiken because we had heard that his team will sell your house quickly and for more money than any of the other realtors in town.
Tell us what happened.
Phil Aiken and his A-team, they will make the process very easy. Sold in 4 days and got over asking price.
Well, that's great. So how did you think they were able to sell it so fast?
Because Phil has the buyers and they have the team that can get the job done quickly and stress-free.
What would you tell a friend who is looking for a real estate agent to sell their home?
Would I recommend Phil Aiken and the A-team? Absolutely.
Well, the results speak for themselves, right? Phil Aiken and his team have the systems and will even guarantee to sell your home in writing or buy it himself.
Yes, we got better results than we expected.
Thanks, Gary. Friends, hire the agent with the buyers looking to buy a home right now. Call Phil Aiken. Call 500-PHIL. That's 500-PHIL, or visit philhasthebuyers.com.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At Lloyd's Construction and Consulting, we've been celebrating 10 years in business. Over the years, we've constructed thousands of projects in the Northeast Florida region. From commercial to residential, we handle each project with the respect and care it deserves. We look forward to speaking with you about your next construction project. Find out more at lloydsconstruction.net.
Hey, does your car still only play CDs? No Bluetooth? No CarPlay? You've got an old car, my friend. You know what's better than an old car? A less old car. Get a car or truck that's new to you with a great used car loan from 1-to-1 Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union. Get pre-approved for a loan and shop at any dealership in town. Get a low rate and get rid of that old car today. Apply online at 1to1fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
For more than 25 years, the potential for health improvement is seen with each patient that walks through our doors. Healthcare decisions don't have to be confusing. Make Island Doctors your medical practice.
My husband and I have been coming to Island Doctors for approximately 10 years, and we have been very happy with them, and we trust them.
Call us today and schedule a tour of one of our locations near you and take a look at our Best Wellness program. And welcome home.
Call 1-877-434-4676 or visit islanddoctors.com.
ESPN 690, the home of the Florida State Seminoles in Jacksonville.
Duke goes down to defeat Florida State 79. Duke 74.
Basket lays, drops, and
drops with 1.8 seconds to go. Here's the snap. Winston rolling right. Throws the pass on the other. It's caught! It's caught! It's caught!
You'll hear Knowles football and men's basketball right here on ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio and the Florida State Seminoles.
Hey everybody, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jacks. There's a good chance you have a smart speaker, so use it with ESPN 690. Stay up to date on the Jags and all things sports by telling Alexa or Google to play ESPN 690. It's as easy as that. Make sure you listen weekdays 3 until 6 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Austin Land of Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. If you didn't catch today's episode, I'm not mad at you, not even disappointed, but check out what you missed.
I got lambasted on social media for a small, mild bit of criticism of Gardner Minshew.
Careful, because you've been in that guy's house, so be careful.
I get crushed when I say too many positive things, moral victories, and I criticize the QB a little bit because that's what I saw.
Check out our podcast on all platforms. Just search ESPN 690. Subscribe to our podcast. Thanks.
Brent Martineau.
I finished second, right? I lost in the championship to you.
Austin Lane.
Hey, you know what? You didn't win, okay? That's all that matters.
I didn't win.
Don't worry what you did last year. You didn't win.
I didn't win, and I auto-drafted.
That's right.
Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, here on a Monday. Been a busy Monday. Gardner Minshew, the starting quarterback of the Jacksonville Jaguars again. We did have an update on Keyontae Johnson where he was responding to simple commands. Initially, a report from his grandfather in the USA Today that he was in a medically induced coma. Now the Gators have since said that he has been transported to Gainesville and is responding to simple commands and undergoing further tests. So still, that's the most positive thing we have seen yet. On Keyontae Johnson. So that is some good news. Mackenzie Milton is a Florida State Seminole. He will enroll in January. We'll get more into that later in the week. That's an interesting one for Mike Norvell, interesting for Milton. It's a fascinating story to follow. Could it help turn around Florida State football? Then there's the rumors about Urban Meyer. Well, not really rumors, a report from Albert Breer of Sports Illustrated saying there could be some interest there from the Jacksonville Jaguars when everything shakes out at the end of the year. We've talked a lot about it earlier in the show. Do you get excited about it? Is that something that'd be interesting? Just to kind of refresh that, where do you stand on the excitement factor once again? Very interesting.
Yeah. Ron, it's very interesting. Listen, it's exciting. It's fresh. It's new. I think anytime you pull a guy from college and put him in the NFL, you're going to have those types of reactions, let's just say. I wouldn't mind it, right? Because the guy's had success wherever he's gone. And I think that if you look at his resume, you look at his track record, it's not perfect. It comes with a little baggage here or there, but let's be honest, a lot of coaches bring baggage, it seems like, to the table. But overall, it's the biggest question. And it's that, can Urban Meyer adapt to the NFL style of that locker room? And I don't have an honest answer for you. I wish I did, but I don't know, because I don't know the guy personally. All I know is what I see on the sidelines. And I think that when you see a college coach like that lay into his players, that works in college. Does not really work in the NFL, right? I play with a guy by the name of Jim Schwartz. Jim Schwartz, I'm in Detroit. He had a little bit of a short temper every once in a while. And I saw the consequences of that, let's just say. I'm not going to share any stories, but I've seen the consequences of that. And I know especially now, and let's keep in mind, I've been out of the game for, almost
6 years?
Yeah, 6-7 years now going on. And I know how much it's changed already. And I think now, you talk about the modern era NFL athlete, the guy that's maybe a little hypersensitive, hyper-aware, asks why to everything. You got to keep in mind, do you bring an old school type of yeller guy in there to counterbalance that? I'm not sure if you can do that.
Yeah, it's interesting. Here's the thing. I get excited when you say Urban Meyer. I get excited about the possibility you pair him up with Justin Fields. I get excited the fact that I know this is a place that has not had a winning culture. It just hasn't. And that guy knows how to win. I have a hard time envisioning Urban Meyer not being successful. And I actually relate him in my own mind, and maybe I'm making this up, that I think he could work like Pete Carroll has worked with Seattle. I think differently. It's not about yelling at players or handling NFL players. I think actually he knows how to handle stars. He did it at Ohio State. He did it at Florida. He made that work. There are questions about some of those star players, but he made that work. He insulated them, put them in a position to be successful, and had to deal with a bunch of different characters now. A bunch. The landscape of that was wide.
Yeah.
And so you get that in the NFL. I said earlier in the show, I said, hey, I think if Urban Meyer's coaching Jalen Ramsey the last couple of years, I think Jalen Ramsey's still here. That's my point. Like, I think he knows how to, I don't know if appease is the right word, nurture is the right word. I think he knows how to deal with those personalities. And that's something that this place hasn't been able to do very often. I also think it's set up. Here's what Urban Meyer said. Not yet, Kuz, on that front. Hold on a minute. But he said this on Colin Cowherd. This was back on December 10th, when asked about returning to coaching. Said, to say I don't think about it, it's every day. It would have to be the perfect situation. Goes on to say, I think I'm done, but I would never say I'm never done. So the question is, how good of a situation is this for a guy looking to get back in? And maybe how good of a situation is this for a guy who's trying to go from college to the NFL if he's interested? I think with the money, with the draft picks, with the power that you could have, with the trust that people would give you in the program like Shad Khan, I think it's a pretty darn good situation to walk into as a football personnel standpoint. I understand people will laugh at that if I say how perfect is Jacksonville. I get it. But if you're looking at it from a job situation and the way you're set up to succeed, again, I'll say it. The people coming in here in Jacksonville, it's a no-excuse job. You have an owner that's patient. You have an owner that will spend on free agency. You have dollars to spend in free agency. You have a quarterback situation that will present itself in the draft that you get to probably pick the next one, as long as they don't win a couple games down the stretch. And then we can debate how good the roster is, which we did. But I do think there are young pieces here, and it's not just barren of any talent. I think there are things to work with that you like. So, perfect, I don't know. Pretty good? Yeah, I would say so.
Let me ask you this, and let me go ahead and play the devil's advocate really quick. He has walked away from the game before,
yes,
a couple times, right? I think it was due to health issues before, and then also was it because he's kind of burnt out, I feel like, or what?
Yeah,
I don't want
kind of retired again. I mean,
mouth.
I think they're both a little.
There was a
peculiar.
health issue first
with Florida, yeah. And, of course, the Florida fan debates that, right?
Yep.
And then ends up at Ohio State shortly after. And now, again, he's just 56 years old.
No, I hear you.
So, those issues are real. I mean, how long will he be here is a real question.
Well, it's not so much even it's not so much how long will he even be here. What I'm trying to get at is the fact that once you walk away the first time, like, you have to have your heart set away. I mean, listen, maybe it wasn't his choice, right? Maybe someone told him or his family said, you got to walk away. He comes back. He walks away again. And it's almost like that does something to you, I feel like. And let's keep in mind, like, I'm sure he had a great job on tap, obviously, the Big Ten Network. He's killing that, all that stuff. But when you walk away and you walk away again, like, I don't want to question the dedication. I don't want to question, like, the mindset of what he would bring if he was to come here. But my question to you is, does it raise a little red flag knowing this guy has walked away twice now and he's coming into a new situation? Like, I guess, to paraphrase it, would his whole heart be in it? Excuse me, well, I'm coughing. I'm not crying. I'm coughing. Would his whole heart...
emotional.
I know. Would his whole heart be in it as I'm gasping for air? Excuse me.
Yeah, I don't think Urban Meyer's getting back into it without his heart being into it. I think he has to probably, which he tried to do at Ohio State as well, is kind of step off the gas a little bit. It was a situation where he's almost on the gas too much, you know, and I don't know if he's figured that out. He's a little bit older now. Is he a little bit wiser now? I don't know. Is that just who he is? I don't know. I don't know how to answer those questions. The way I answer the question is this: give me Urban Meyer for 4 years right now, and I'll sign up for it right this second. Because I think I'm getting 7 or 8 wins next year to start turning it around. I think I'm getting maybe 8 to 10 wins the following year, and I think I'm going to make a run the next year because I think the guy wins. And I think I'm going to have a quarterback that he's probably comfortable with, and I think he's going to start changing the culture around here. And so if I could sign up for just that for 3 years and you change into a winning culture, I'd take it. At this point, I'm taking it. And Shad Khan has to figure that out, right? Give me a winning culture. I can't tell you that he's going to be – I can't tell you if they brought Urban Meyer here that he would be here for 7 years. I don't know. That's a hard thing for me to sign up to. I don't know if that would be the case. But I do think he's going to win wherever he goes if he comes back, whether that's college or the NFL.
No, I agree with you there. And, yes, there's a lot of money for free agency. You're going to get your kind of essentially your pick of the litter set aside from Trevor Lawrence at the quarterback position in the draft. I get all that stuff. But a lot of pieces still have to fall in place for him to make it work. Okay? Because, like, obviously, Justin Fields, well, he has to be the guy, right? Obviously, the Tennessee Titans and the Indianapolis Colts take steps back, which I'm not sure if they will. Okay, like I think the Indianapolis Colts are a quarterback away from maybe being something special themselves.
True.
I think the Tennessee Titans right now, they're well coached. A little bit of an outlier in terms of their defense this year, but for the most part, we kind of, they are who we thought they were.
Yeah.
So,
but they're not uncatchable like Kansas City is or something.
No, or like obviously the Patriots were back in the day.
Yeah.
They're not that, but they are still competitive in my eyes.
All right, I want to play this for you. We played this a few weeks back, and this was Urban Meyer. Well, hey, we're on Urban Meyer today, so why not?
Well, you're getting paid by him, so yeah, go and put his name out in the universe a couple of times.
The one other thing, listen to this. This was from the college football show, and he's talking about culture. Mm-hmm. And we talked about this in no relation to him being with the Jags necessarily, but just this is what the Jags have to fix. And so I thought this was perfect a few weeks ago. And I still think it's good, whether it's Urban Meyer in Jacksonville or somebody else.
Yeah.
But listen, this is a guy who's won. And he knows what it takes. And this is an organization that doesn't know what it takes.
Yeah. Now, Kuz, real quick, before we play the video, do you have my counter argument after this? Because I want to remember. You don't?
No, this would be just the audio.
Okay, because I want to remember what I said about him after it, because if he comes here, I have to answer for that. Okay, never mind.
Play it.
Think about what you just said. There's not a bad player in the NFL. They're NFL players. Same with the coach. You can't say, well, he's a bad coach. Now, maybe they're not coaching well, or maybe the player's not playing well, but that's where I always say, lift under the hood. Never make excuse. When I was a coach, I would never let one of my coaches say he's a bad player. I'd warn them and say that again, you probably have to leave, because that's just, you're making excuses. Now, dig deep and find out why. Every time I've had a team struggle, every time, it's fallen in one of three categories. Number one, there's some trust issue. The players don't trust the coach don't trust the players, or awful when the players don't trust each other. Number two, really think about it, it's called a dysfunctional work environment, Reggie, and that's that, where the expectations are very high, but we don't work hard.
I've been there before, Coach.
And the coach has to be real clear with his team and say, wait a minute, that's going to lead to frustration, anger, disappointment, because we want to win a championship. I got news, guys, we're not working hard. So stop with the expectations. If your work ethic must exceed or equate your expectations, that's a good environment. And the last one is real obvious. You got a selfish team, man. You got problems on your team. Football is an unselfish sport. That means you have to do the nasty. That means I'm a running back. I got to go protect for my quarterback.
Yeah.
That you don't always get to carry the ball. Sometimes you have to run down and kick off 22 miles an hour and throw yourself into someone coming 15 miles an hour the other way. That's not fun. Why would you do that? Because you love your team and your teammates. So when you hear LSU, Penn State, Wolverine struggling, stop with the bad players. I get sick of hearing that. It's not the players. I don't think it's coaches. But there's something wrong. Lift the hood, find out one of those three things is usually the reason.
I thought that was fascinating. And by the way, if you want to just run that through Jacksonville, just look at the last couple of weeks. You think there's a trust issue?
I know.
What about the quarterback spot? What's been going on there? You think there's dysfunctional standard, expectations high, but don't work hard enough? I don't know that part, but I can tell you there was dysfunction if you take that 2017 into 18 team, into 19 team. And then do you have a selfish team? Well, I do think there are some players in that 18-19 locker. That's what they tried to get rid of here.
Yeah.
Now, and I think they did a good job of that. I wouldn't call this team a selfish team, but I think some of their problems existed over these last few years because of selfish.
Listen, all I'm going to say is, where was this speech back in 2013 when I was getting cut by Dave Caldwell and I'm sitting in his office? Where was that speech then? Because I could have said, Dave, you're not going to cut me. You know why? Let's check underneath the hood a little bit, man. Let's see underneath the hood. Let's see why it's not working out. Let's work together. I'm not going anywhere. Certainly not going to go to Kansas City and play in a 3-4 defense, obviously. So let's crack the hood open. Let's see what we can do going forward. And I'll see you tomorrow, Dave. Have a good one.
That was fun. It was fun, Urban Meyer talk. I think these are just rumors that will be out and about. I honestly don't think Urban Meyer's coming back to the fold in the NFL. I think Texas was a bad fit. Like he says, perfect fit. Texas is not a good fit right now for him. I don't think he wants to go rebuild something necessarily. And then that way, Jacksonville's kind of in that mode too. I mean, I think the hesitation will be there, even though everything's in front of you. You're handed a pretty good plate, but I still think the outside looking in part of that might be a little bit too much. I will say one more thing, though. If you have a guy like Urban Meyer or somebody like, I will at least know who's running things. And that's been a problem in Jacksonville. I'm going to go back to that. I don't, other than 17, when I knew Tom Coughlin was trying to win lunch, and I didn't even know if Doug Marrone was calling plays, I knew Tom Coughlin was running this thing. And outside of that, I don't know who the heck's running the thing over the years. It's been a very hard figure. Who's making the decisions? How much is Schott involved? How much is Tony Khan involved? If Urban Meyer was here, I'd have no hesitation at who's running the thing because he's coming here to run it.
No,
so,
yeah. Well, and that's important.
That.
No, you have to love that. That's definitely important. Once again, my only argument is, listen, this team right now, they've had problems with communication. They've had problems, I guess just in terms of reciprocating the goal to their players. And it's just been, it's been uneven and it's been a mess. And the only concern I have, once again, with Urban Meyer is, can he adapt to that NFL lifestyle? Because it's not the same as college. You're dealing with grown men now. You're not dealing with student athletes anymore. So I think you got to change up your style a little bit. Not to say that he can't do that, because he definitely can, I'm sure. But I'm just saying it's going to be different.
Yeah, probably would be. All right, how about a little give me one thing to end Monday? We've been jam-packed. Hardly even out of Gardner Minshew. Yeah. We did a little bit. But, I mean, come on. There's 3 games to go. Gardner Minshew's back as a starting quarterback. That's not my give me one thing. Although I will say this. Were you struck by this at all? And I can't wait till Wednesday's news conference and his availability. Did you notice that he didn't have a bandana on?
No.
In the postgame.
I didn't notice that.
And so I took note of that.
You should.
As I'm like, wait a minute now.
Interesting.
This is a guy that always has a bandana on. Was this his attempt to say, it's not about me? Or was this, I didn't plan on meeting the media today, so I didn't have one? But I think he wears a bandana anyway, though. He always.
I hope it's the latter, man. Because now we got company man Gardner Minshew. What happens this Sunday if he shaves his mustache off and cuts his hair? I'm out.
I'm just telling you, it crossed my mind. It just crossed my mind because I feel like Gardner's the guy that he had slick back here and hair instead, and I think he's the guy that puts the bandana on even when he's walking to the grocery store.
Listen, despite what you think about Gardner Minshew in terms of the numbers, obviously what you saw this year won't be the starter going forward more than likely. The one thing that made him at least a decent quarterback that gave people hope was the fact that he was always himself. And if you're telling me now, Brent, this guy is going to sell out and go the company route, I'm going to cry, man. It's going to make me sad. And I actually will cry then, not over Urban Meyer.
Give me one thing. What you got?
Was this in the email today, by the way?
No. But I like to do it on Mondays.
I appreciate it. Well, I could say Kyler Murray and Daniel Jones, but you know what? Let's go ahead and set that to the side.
That's tomorrow.
Let's put that in the back burner. We're going to let it simmer a little bit, right?
Yeah.
We're going to let it stew a little bit.
Kind of forgot about that.
Oh, don't worry. I'll remind you tomorrow.
I'm not coming in tomorrow then, right?
But no, my one thing is going to be Sarah Fuller. Kicks 2 extra points.
Yeah, I liked it.
And listen, I loved it. And I actually watched the game live once again. Had it on my cell phone. I was in Tallahassee for some fights, but watched it on my cell phone. And there's always going to be that other narrative, right? Where it's a ploy, it's a marketing thing, or is just an attention get, whatever. And people want to say, well, they had another kicker, do the kickoffs. Why wouldn't he do the extra points? Listen, this happens all the time in football, where one kid's going to kick the kickoff, and one other dude's going to kick the field goal or the extra points or whatever the case may be. I don't ask those questions because we never ask those questions when it's 2 male players doing it. But now we have to ask the question because there's a female out there. Why ask the question, man? Just enjoy it. Like, you're watching history. Like, I don't understand when you can take such a great moment of Sarah Fuller and you question the intentions, you question what it's all about. Like, just be in the moment and be happy. And if you have daughters, show your daughters that video. That's what it's supposed to be all about. Don't say it's all a ploy, it's all marketing. Like, who cares, man? Just be happy because this girl made history. And by the way, props to her, because the first extra point that she made, I didn't see the second one, but the first one, calm, cool, collected. She acted like she's been there before, and guess what? She hasn't been there before.
Nope.
No girl has.
I like that part of it, too.
No female has been there before, and she acted like she was. So props to Sarah Fuller, man. Hats off to you.
I think that was a bigger moment of the two. I know she got in for the kickoff, and I know that was the original history-making play, but I like that she got the extra point. I'm a little disappointed you didn't go with this with the Give Me One thing.
Hit me with
but
it.
How about Edgar Berlanga? 16 knockouts in a row in the first round. Have you seen this guy fight?
Yeah.
I watched that fight.
Well, yeah. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm just saying that guy can punch, man. I mean, you can feel it from your couch.
No, it's insane. Like, this guy, it's like you're like Jack's Beach Bars, and it's literally like everything you got in one punch. No, that's what he brings to the table. There's a group of people that think that it's all an act, that it's all a show because his opponents,
not the big names yet.
But the big question with this guy, and we're going to tune in to watch him, the big question is, can he last more than one round?
Yeah,
you
don't know.
Yet. Yeah,
but I'm telling you,
must-see
you
TV.
could hear when he hit. I don't know if it was just the mics that ESPN had.
Oh no,
it was a lot of power in that punch.
Yeah.
I mean, you could feel it. It was wild to sit there and watch it. You didn't have to watch for long.
No,
guy's never gone out of the first round.
He's not trying to get paid by the hour, Brent. Simple as that.
Hey, check out our Dream 18 card on ESPN690.com, and we have Jags Report Live coming up tonight. Live, local, loud next on ESPN 690. We'll talk about which offense the Jags should resemble tomorrow instead of the QB report card. Have a good night.
We'll see.
Happy holidays from the team at CGC Water. This holiday season, our gift to you is clean drinking water. A Kinetico system from CGC Water removes up to 99% of contaminants. That's clean. Right now, CGC Water is offering a free A200 reverse osmosis drinking water system with the purchase of a Kinetico Premier Softener like the one we have at our home. If you're still not filtering your water, you are the filter. Schedule your free water test today and get peace of mind knowing your family's water is safe water. CGC is still taking extra precautions with in-home visits and continuing to follow CDC guidelines. Remember now, this is a limited time offer. A free A200 reverse osmosis drinking water system with the purchase of a Kinetico Premier Softener. Special holiday financing available for a limited time with approved credit. Call 904-552-1242 for details or visit cgcwater.com. Serving Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia, CGC Water Treatment, your local independent Kinetico dealer. Have a happy and safe holiday season.
Why call a professional if you're only going to get a half solution? That's my philosophy. You called me to truly fix your problems like, boom, fixed and fixed right. So when Griffin Service offered full service drain clearing, I insisted we take that approach. And for drains, it's not really about busting the clog. Sure, we'll do that better than anyone. But honestly, most Jake with a snake chuck in a truck plumbers can bust a clog. Professional quality drain clearing is really about taking an out-of-control situation and putting you, the client, back in control. I'm talking about transparency, with upfront pricing and camera work included in the price, so you know that the problem was fixed and fixed right. Because on the off chance you've got a bigger problem than clog busting can solve, you'll want to know you're dealing with a plumber you can trust, who has all the equipment to fix problems properly and guarantee the work. So call the plumbers to do it right at
GriffinService.com.
License number 1250697.
No matter what you are driving, you can step up to luxury now at any of the Fields Auto Group dealerships in Jacksonville. Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Yes, it's luxury for less at all Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. Plus, you'll also be part of their exclusive Fields Amenities program, where you will get complimentary loaners, car washes, and cafes. So whatever you're driving, see Fields first and step up to luxury for less during this amazing opportunity. Visit fieldsauto.com.
Nothing is certain except death and taxes. And your appliance is breaking down as soon as they're out of warranty. At Atlantic Coast Appliance, we can't help with the first two, but we've got the third one covered. Our factory-trained and certified technicians have been repairing appliances for more than 35 years, with a 90-day warranty on parts and labor and a 100% satisfaction guarantee. For quality repair at a price that's fair, trust Atlantic Coast Appliance. AtlanticCoastAppliance.com. That's AtlanticCoastAppliance.com.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At Lloyd's Construction and Consulting, we've been celebrating 10 years in business. Over the years, we've constructed thousands of projects in the Northeast Florida region. For commercial to residential, we handle each project with the respect and care it deserves. We look forward to speaking with you about your next construction project. Find out more at lloydsconstruction.net.
I'm Dr. Baker, an ER physician. If you're having leg pain, swelling, or redness, but haven't talked to your doctor yet, don't wait. This could be deep vein thrombosis, a blood clot which could travel to your lungs and lead to a pulmonary embolism, which could cause